Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Half Hour Happy Hour Drunksmas 2021 live charity stream Pizza Palooza. I can't believe I got all those words out. I'm Allison Hayslip.
Oh, wait, I'm Maude Garrett.
I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Tom Krajewski.
Yay!
Yay, we're all here.
For the next 3-ish hours, we're going to drink some booze, eat some pizza, and raise a bunch of money for charity. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all. Great to be back. We thought that, December holiday season is, the gift of giving is something that we do a lot of. But we thought in this particular instance that by teaming up with Pizza Hut, not only could we get fed like kings and queens during this stream, especially since we will be drinking this entire time for 3 hours. Not only that, Pizza Hut says that they're going to match donations for not one, but 2 charities. So if you look in the chat, we're going to be posting the link to not only Extra Life, which is for the Los Angeles Hospital for Children, but also Black Girls Code. So there's 2 separate charity pages there. The goal is to hit $1,000 for both, and then Pizza Hut will match that $1,000. So by everyone giving $2,000, we're going to be raising 4. But it's not without getting something back, because it's the gift that keeps giving. Should your donation be $20 or more, we will be giving you a Pizza Hut gift code valued at $20 so that you can put towards your next order as well. So give 20, get 20 is how we're going to do things. It's going to be a great, crazy next 3 hours, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah, very excited. For those who don't know, who have never heard of Black Girls Code, it's a great organization that really encourages Black girls and women to get into STEM programs. And if you know anything about the Half Hour Happy Hour, we love encouraging people to get into STEM programs. So
yeah, baby.
Donate to either that speaks to you or both if you can. Also, we got to do a big shout out to Pizza Hut, not only for donating, but for sending us all a triple treat box.
So much stuff. Honestly,
I'm going to open mine. I'm the only one who hasn't opened mine yet. It says sealed by the Hut, opened by you. Thank you, Pizza Hut. All right, how does this? Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's all the pizza in the world.
It's for a party, and we individually. We would probably get the same amount of pizza if we were in the same studio.
Pepperoni pizza, number 1.
I got one of those. Boom.
Yeah.
Cheese pizza, number 2.
That's what I did.
Kevin McAllister would approve.
And the triple threat. Oh my God, it's breadsticks and Cinnabons.
By the way, when was the last time you actually had Pizza Hut breadsticks? Like, I eat pizza Hut a lot. It's like my go-to, but like the breadsticks.
I have one immediately right now.
Yes.
All right.
Also,
one more order of business to get your Pizza Hut code, which is very important. So once you make a donation to either of these charities, forward your donation confirmation email to the Half Hour Happy Hour fans at gmail.com email account. It still lives, y'all. And I'm running that tonight. And I will email you back at whatever email address you have emailed me from your code for your $20 off. Oh my God, this is heaven.
This is super important. I have a Cinnabon song that I made up when a friend of mine made Cinnabuns and dropped them over to me. And it's really easy. It'll get in your head, and it's so apt and important to learn. It is Cinnabon bun, Cinnabon bun, Cinnabon. You're very welcome. Yeah. So you have to sing that while you're eating them. I don't make the rules, but that's how I
will enforce the rules.
So we'll have the charities up so that we can all kind of check in intermittently to see.
You guys, wait real quick. We already got our first donation. It's already been forwarded to the email.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, good old Dougie. Dougie donated to Extra Life, and he donated enough to get the code. So I will be sending that to you shortly, Dougie. You rock. Thanks for taking this off. That is amazing.
I remember we used to, back in the Totally Rad Show days, we used to do the 24-hour, I think it was Extra Life that did the 24-hour charity stream where you play games for 24 hours.
Yes.
The first time we did it, my wife's friend Sue was in town like the night before, and she was like, let's go out and have dinner. And I was like, yeah, man, I should probably just chill because like tomorrow morning, we're starting at like 8, you know what I mean? Like, and the stream and all this stuff. And she was like, okay, that's cool. And I was just like, well, I mean, yeah, you know what? I will go to dinner. Oh my God. I drank all the Jack Daniels. I went to bed at like 2:00 in the morning, and I woke up to do the Extra Life 24-hour gaming for charity and was so hammered that the first like 4 hours is just me sitting like this and everybody else playing games and like periodically saying something. And then I'd be like, excuse me, I'll be right back. And I would go throw up and then come back and be like, how are we doing, guys? But it was actually very good because I was basically hibernating for the first like 4 or 5 hours. So by the end, everybody else was asleep, and I was like doing like Dance Dance Revolution and Guitar Hero, playing drums. I was like, this is great. So had I not done that, I don't know if we would have made the push, as it were. My favorite is I had my buddy Mike Rizzo sat in for, I think we were playing like that Marvel top-down sort of like asymmetric shooter thing. Not asymmetric, but I literally we were playing and we couldn't move. The team couldn't move this way because one of our guys was in the corner and he was just running like this against a wall. And I looked over and my friend was fully asleep with his hands just going like this. like he was still moving, but he was fully asleep just like this. And so we kept having to go, Cyclops. And he would wake up and go, oh, yeah, yep. Here we go. Oh my God, so much fun. Much fun.
Hey, today is going to be, this evening for 3 hours, going to be full of amazing guests. We've actually got our first guest here. We have 10 minutes to kind of tell you about the charities. We're going to keep putting those donation links up there. I've even got a way to show where we're up to. Already, Black Girls Code is at 235.
Holy crap.
I'll try and figure out how I can show you the other one, but having 2 tabs when I can only share one at a time, I'm getting there. But in saying that, without further ado, we should get our first guest for the evening. Woo-woo! In the chat. I'm not sure if this person's done a Drunksmas before or if this is their very first time, which is so exciting. Wearing a very low V-neck. Thank you so much for doing that one. He's been working a lot. He's got movies coming out. He's been very, very busy. Friend of the show, Zach Levi. A big welcome.
Hey! I feel like an old lady clutching my pearls and covering my.
Hello, Zach.
Hi, this is my first official Drunksmas, guys.
I know, Zachy, you're finally here.
Finally fucking made it.
Hold on. It's your first Drunksmas and that's a water bottle?
Well, you don't know that that's water in there.
I don't know that's water.
Touche.
But it is water. It is.
I was going to say, that's a lot of vodka, Zach.
Okay,
let's
Hey,
Zach's a superhero now.
A giant Long Island iced tea, everybody. Come on.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you know what you're in for the next 20 minutes because it's, just pure shenanigans.
Yeah, all the shenanigan guy.
Yeah. Can we ask where in the world you are? Because you travel more than any other person I know.
Well, I do travel a lot. It's true. Well, I mean, there's seasons when I travel, and then there's other times when I'm planted for a while. But currently, I'm in Phoenix.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Just happened to be in Phoenix. I'm doing press for American Underdog, which is the football movie that I did. And I hope everybody goes and sees. But anyway,
what's the number one question you've been asked on the junket?
What has been the most redundant question? I don't know, what was it like trying to get into step into the shoes of Kurt Warner? Like what kind of training did you do? And was there a lot of pressure, having him there and being on set and stuff like that?
Got it.
Do you have to gain weight for that role? Like how much did you gain? Because you look pretty big and buff in the trailers. Right?
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully,
he's a thick boy.
I think I ended up putting about 15 pounds on or something like that.
Geez.
About 15. I'm trying to hold that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like every time I've done that now, I did it for Shazam a couple of times, and I did it with American Underdog, and it's not fun, man. I mean, you got to eat so much. You got to eat so much, and it's not. You tell people you got to eat like 4,000 calories.
You get to eat pizza.
Yeah, well, where's my pizza, by the way? You promised
I have a pizza in the background as well as next to me.
Jack, you will be getting a pizza code. Don't worry. All our guests
we'll see. Because you got to eat so many calories, and people think, they're people at first are like, I'm jealous. You get to eat so many calories. It's like, no, hang on a second. This isn't the fun calories. This isn't Ben and Jerry's and pizza and whatever. This is like lots of just shit, like clean protein and vegetables. things that eventually you're like, oh man, I my kingdom for a slice of pepperoni.
Yeah.
So I don't know, But
Speaking
cool.
of naughty calories, we have a little thing at Drunksmas, which has been going on for a couple of years. We have a code word, and if someone donates and says that particular word, Wiz gets to drink. So Dougie Sharp coming in. Can't resist hitting Shazam with a Fortify. So if you hear Fortify,
thank you, Dougie.
Hey, Dougie.
Oh wow! All right, Dougie.
You're like, I gotta hydrate.
well, slow down, Zach. Slow down. That was take.
I'm not gonna slow down. Don't you tell me how to live my life.
So I just want to do a little update. It took me this entire time to email Dougie his pizza code. And when I clicked back over into the inbox after hitting send, we had like 20 new emails.
This is fantastic.
Donating, this is great. Please give me time to actually send you all your codes.
Yeah, that's gonna be like
everybody put some money in.
Yeah.
Come on, Zach, give us a shoulder.
I do declare.
So Zach, I think I told you this the other night when I saw you, but I was very excited. I think it was last Thursday night football. I went to turn on the game and I literally turned my TV on and it is you as Kurt Warner. And I was like, yeah!
That's all I can hope for is that people are so annoyed with the amount of advertising they're being handed that they go, fine, I'll go see it already. And
okay,
they'll appreciate it because it actually is a really good little movie.
Yeah. So knowing our audience, I'm gonna guess people also want to hear if we have any like Shazam 2 info. Did you finish filming that?
Are you suggesting that your audience has anything to do with the nerd culture of sci-fi and genre and fantasy? Mm-hmm. Stop it. You, Maude,
maybe.
Alex, Tom? Are you affiliated with such things? Yeah, Shazam Fury of the Gods. I really was, man, I mean, like, so badly because I feel like Shazam, we have this incredible like opportunity to really be the Deadpool of DC. Like we already kind of are a little bit because we get to be in the world, but looking at it and commenting on it in ways that other franchises just don't or can't or whatever. But I really wanted to lean even more into like how ridiculous and meta, Deadpool can get. And I thought Shazam 2 should be Shazam 2 Electric Boogaloo. We should have run with it. I mean, I literally shoot lightning from my hands. Electric Boogaloo, guys, come on. We could have had like a whole like dance sequence and stuff. Like could have gotten some just like stunt breakers in our suits and like doing all kinds of stuff for the ads, for the promos. And I've been, guys, this has been genius. Anyway.
Just shot down the best idea ever.
Right? I mean, it would have been so good. Even for just like a fake campaign. Maybe we can do it later. But so Shazam Fury of the Gods was so dope to make. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but Allison, you know me. I mean, I don't mince words. I don't beat around bushes. I try to be honest. Because I do think that, at the end of the day, almost, one of the only things we can hold on to is our integrity and our word. And like, can people trust us or not? And I really want, and I use no hyperbole when I say I genuinely think we made an even better version of Shazam than even the first one. And I'm really proud of what we did with the first one. I think the first one was not a perfect movie, but it was, according to Rotten Tomatoes, it was 90% a perfect movie. So I'll take that. And we really did hit the right tone, the right balance, the heart and the humor and all of the things that kind of coalesce to make it, I think, special and different. And unlike a lot of sequels, be they film or television or video games, where this really unfortunate thing happens when making a sophomore effort, like the studio, if they've really succeeded in the first one, they're like, okay, this one's got to be bigger. And it's like Trump talk. It's like, it's huge. It's the biggest. It's the best. We're going to make it bigger and better. That's what we're going to do. So that's what we're doing all the time. And I feel like, not that you shouldn't obviously, attempt to plus, like, make things better where there might have been something lacking, or I don't know. People get lost in that. And I think that we really didn't. I think that Henry Gaydon, who wrote the script for the first one, wrote the script for the second one. And that guy, like, I just love him so much. I've been given David Sandberg, our director, he and my our producers and everybody, they give me a long leash, and I get to improv a lot, and I'm really grateful that I get to do that stuff, because a lot of the things that I just come up with in the moment end up making them in the movie, and I'm like, okay, that's really fun, and it's fun that it works enough that it's able to be usable, because a lot of stuff that you might improv on is just kind of like ridiculous, and there's no way it's going to make the final cut. But I'm only able to do the riffing that I do, I think, as well as I do in this franchise, because Henry already starts us with this incredible template of a story, and he really understands the characters, and he really understands the heart and the humor, and again, striking that tone while still keeping it, sinister enough where there's some stakes, and you're like, oh my God, will they beat the bad guy? I mean, obviously we always know that the good guys win. I mean, that's pretty much how these things work, but you still got to be like, gripped in it, and like, there's got to be the danger and all those things. And I think Henry, we're basically like the same age and grew up on the same movies, like, by the way, we all grew up on. So there's a lot of stuff throughout both scripts, the first and second movie, and even a lot of the riffing I'll do in those that harken back to, I don't know, random subconscious moments that have manifested based on my viewing of Indiana Jones and Star Wars and Goonies, and pick the kind of Amblin-y, Lucas-y world and mashup, and Henry and I's brains both we very much operate in those worlds. So I think he really, and this movie really is. I mean, it's a throwback to those feels. I don't like even Marvel movies. Marvel movies have, obviously they struck gold in the way that I would say John Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. struck gold, and then Kevin Feige was smart enough to go, oh, that's the gold we need to keep reproducing over and over and over.
Look at all this gold
we'll build our universe, and it'll all connect. And yes, granted, we're going to lose some auteurs along the way, because we're not going to let them make the movie they want to make. Like, Edgar Wright's Ant-Man would have been, I think, so cool. What? Did I get a
No. I was agreeing with you.
You didn't know
Allison hates Edgar Wright.
I remember when
listen. Sometimes his third acts do kind of go a little wily, but regardless, Edgar Wright is so talented. He's so funny. He's got such a unique voice and mind. And I would love to see more. I think Marvel's now going to start spinning it out, because now we've got the multiverse. We've got the multiverse everywhere, and that essentially allows everybody to just kind of make whatever movie they want to make, and that doesn't have to tie to everything. But I just think Henry has helped to create, tonally, is it, all of that stuff sits in a much more Amblin-y way. And if you remember, like, now, like Marvel again, really entertaining movies. There's not a lot of darkness in them. And one might argue that there's a lot of the Snyderverse that might have been a little too dark in some ways, right? And so where's the balance where we had as kids, where you were watching a movie and it was lighthearted and everything, and then it was like, oh, damn, they just smoked that fool. Like that person just died horribly right in front of our eyes, that kind of stuff and again, it was always done. I mean, Disney did it still. Well, they still kind of do it, but I mean, like classic Disney.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They weren't fooling around. It's like, here's Bambi and their mom, how cute, and then bam, and now you're an orphan.
Oh my God.
It was not. It taught us all lessons as kids, like, oh, life actually is a little hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Don't go to the circus; they're gonna steal you.
Yeah, exactly.
Your dad died. You've got an evil stepmother and stepsisters.
Yeah.
Lots of dead parents in the Disney catalog.
Yeah.
Almost every single hero or heroine in the Disney catalog has one or both parents just gone from the get-go.
So what you're saying,
we see them die in the beginning in some way.
What you're saying is that Batman is actually a Disney prince.
I mean, make the argument. I don't know. I think for our case anyway, we get to straddle that line and make something that's a little more throwback to that regard, but also still a 4-quadrant movie for the most part, where families nowadays can all go and enjoy it. There are quite a few friends who have asked me though, like, how old, like, because some of the scenes in the first Shazam, and by the way, some of the scenes that will be in the second Shazam could be a little, could be a little too graphic for the youngest of minds, right? But also, savvy parents they go watch it first and they go, okay, this is the time when I do this, or this is the time when I do this, or you know.
Well, the first Shazam movie, when Mark Strong goes in like the boardroom and like has the monsters kill everybody, that was terrifying.
Yeah,
bro, this is what I'm talking about. Like if you would actually just take that scene out, it would make it far more palatable. Almost every other moment could be more palatable. But the reality is, it's like, I don't know that you need to or want to, let that kid watch it when they get older. Yeah. I know it's inconvenient for a lot of parents who have much younger kids and like, well, I don't know what to do. And it's like, I don't know, get it on home video. Like, you can figure it out.
Before we move on to the next question, we've got another fortifying. Through. So glad Drunksmas is still a thing. This is my favorite time of year. Love you all and hope you have a great holiday. But fortify. I do have a question though.
I'm very excited for this.
Do for a living. What did you find as it is tequila. What did you find as a nerd? Because you obviously grew up being a nerd. You did Nerd HQ. It was a huge integral part of who you are. Mm-hmm. You landed a superhero movie. Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy shooting the first movie knowing that this was like a bucket list tick and you get to don the suit for the first time and you get to experience it? Or did you prefer shooting the second movie, having that familiarity, being sort of like knowing the success of the first movie as well? What experience did you prefer?
Yes.
God damn it.
So
fortify.
I'm expecting an answer, Maude. Come on, you know me better than that. So listen, look, I mean, I was so grateful that I got going back even farther. Like when I got cast in the Thor franchise as Fandral, that was a really cool. I was bummed that Chuck wouldn't let me out of that season to go do the first movie because I really wanted to work with Kenneth Branagh a lot. I find him to be an incredibly talented dude. But that it circled back into my life and that I ultimately still got to play that role was great. But we didn't, they did fuck all with those characters. Like we didn't really have a lot to do in all of that, which is disappointing because if we've learned nothing else from things like Avengers and whatnot, like everybody loves a team movie, so we had a perfect little Norse team and we didn't really do much. But then all that kind of, was going away. Myself and the other two warriors were very quickly, killed off in Ragnarok which was a fantastic movie. I mean, I not Ragnarok. It was really good.
I got so offended when you got killed because I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know what was happening, and I watched the movie and I was like, "What?
Yeah. It was. I mean, I when I finally saw it, I was I only had like 3 lines and all of them cut out.
Well, and I also remember
you. That was really that fast.
I remember you being in London for like a big chunk of time for that too. So
no. The second movie was when I was in London for 6 months, and but we only ended up in a few scenes. The Ragnarok they shot in Australia. I was only in Australia for like a week. I brought Blackman with me, actually, Eric Blackman, because I had a +1, and so we just kicked around and what's that?
Can I tell the quick story about visiting you on set for Thor 2?
Sure.
You remember this? So when
Zach there were many stories. I don't know.
So Zach was out in London, and I went to go visit and got to stay at Zach's amazing flat in London. And it was like, okay, there was one day that it was going to be a good day for me to go to set with you. And we got picked up at like 6 a.m. or whatever and driven an hour out to the studio. We get there at like 7 and we go grab breakfast. And first off, I had to sign my fucking life away. I hope by now this NDA, because the movie's cut out. So I sign all the NDAs. That's like, I will not breathe a word that I've even stepped foot within a mile of this set, basically. And we grab breakfast and we go to your trailer, and it's like your suit was like hanging in the trailer. And we sat there for like an hour, and then like the first AD came over, whoever it was, and was like, we got rained out today, so no shooting. And we just got sent home. And that was it. That was my big day on set for Thor 2.
Yeah. There were a lot of those days. I mean, England's England. There's a lot of rain, as it turns out. And but also the schedule on that one was all kind of wacky. They were rewriting that constantly. They were writing that script. And so I ended up having so many days where I'd just be on hold. I mean, I was on hold that entire movie. I thought I was going to be able to go bounce around Europe a little bit on my days or weeks off or whatever. And then we were just constantly on hold, and I was just stuck in London, which, by the way, is a great city. But if you're by yourself and all your friends are like have regular jobs there and you can't really see anybody and you're just kind of, and you're a Southern California kid who really needs sun. We all need sun, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Even all the Brits even know this, that I'm now
vitamin D.
Here, isn't it? It's so just dreary. We're all just disappointed all the time. But getting back on track really quick. So that all wrapped up, all that Fandral stuff, all that Marvel stuff. And to be honest, I thought you know, maybe this was it. Maybe this was it as far as like me playing my superhero card is, you know, and by the way, I should be so lucky. Like there are plenty of actors who never get to say they were in the Marvel or DC universe or whatever the hell. So I was still trying to count that blessing, but it was a bummer because, you know, I'm very much this kid. I grew up reading all of these comics and loving these worlds and wanting to bring them to the big screen or small screen or video screen or whatever. So going back to your question, Maude, I mean, I can't really, between those two things, it's very difficult to choose because the fact that I, as a, you know, at that point, a 37-year-old man was now being given this opportunity to go be the face of a franchise where I get to be my own superhero and I get to put on the spandex and the whole deal. And I'm like, it was one of the most incredible gifts I've ever been given and continues to be a gift that keeps on giving, given that, you know, I've made a second film and hopefully we'll get to do more stuff. But on top of that, like, that was great. But the fact that we made a movie good enough that Warner Brothers believed in us to go, like, here's double the budget and go make another one. And that I get to keep doing that and feel even more grounded in the role and my understanding of it and who I am as a human being and all that jazz. They're both so incredibly awesome. Like, I don't know. If I stop long enough and just sit and count the insanity of the blessings that I've been given in my life, particularly since I've been an actor and all the cool shit I've gotten to do, I'll just cry sometimes. like, you know, like not like full on just bawling. Well, actually, no, sometimes I mean, you know, but you, I don't know. There's just so much, there are so many people that are hurting in this world all the time. There are so many people that just don't have a lot to scrape together, or certainly haven't gotten the opportunity to go live out whatever their dreams or visions are. And ever since I was a little kid, I knew in my knower that I was supposed to go and be this actor. I didn't know exactly what all that was going to look like, but I tell you what, the fact that, you know, two of my favorite movies growing up were Big and Superman, and I got to go make those two things is like, kill me now. I'm good. God. Thank you.
That is crazy. I did not actually think about that it is literally Shazam is Big meets Superman. Yeah. That's bonkers, dude.
Yeah.
Because Big was such a transformative movie for so many of us.
It was
I mean, it was just like, yeah, I can do whatever I want. Yeah.
And how he learns through all that and starts realizing, well, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And I mean, I don't know. Penny Marshall, she was a fantastic talent, and that and League of Their Own are still two of my favorite.
Oh yeah,
yes.
And, you know, she crushed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, another Fortified.
Yeah.
Children.
Says, love Shazam. Those kid actors were amazing. Yes, you too, Zach. Since they couldn't celebrate like adults, let's all fortify for them. For the children.
For the children.
For the kids.
Yeah.
Speaking of the children, one of the charities is Extra Life, which is raising money for the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. So a little bit of an update. The Extra Life, we're at 295 raised, which is nearly a third already. And Black Girls Code has raised $345, which is above the third already.
Yes.
In the half an hour, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
Yes,
well done, everybody out there watching. Well done. With generosity.
I'm slowly getting through the emails. I do, you know, well, I'll get to them. I've sent out 3 codes.
By the way, I just have to say, so I knew I wanted to drink beer because it's been ages since I drink beer. And if I drank Jack Daniels, I'd be under the desk instead of at the desk. Look what I found.
Oh, Trejo's.
Danny Trejo's beer. I was like, Danny Trejo makes a beer?
He makes everything now.
He's one of the smartest guys. He first of all, he's like such a great dude. Like everybody who ever talks about Danny Trejo is like, he's one of the greatest guys ever. And if you look at, like, he's got one of the most insane stories too, like his whole journey as a human being. But he's also been really smart to be like, I got a brand and I'm going to use that brand and I'm going to go make some beers and I'm going to he wrote a book. Like there's all kinds of
tacos. There's a donut place. There's a coffee shop down near my house. Like I was just, and then I saw this and I was like, well, I got to get the beer. Trejo's Cerveza. It's fucking great.
Look at that. What is it, like a Pilsner? What is it?
It's a Mexican lager. So it's sort of like a Dos Equis or like a Negro Modelo, like that kind of vibe.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, it's a spicy, man.
I like it. Well, I think if I remember correctly from the schedule that I saw, you guys have another guest that's supposed to be getting in here.
We certainly do. We've got Jonathan.
This is why I love Zach. Zach just runs the interview himself. We ask one question. Zach takes up his entire 20 minutes, and then he's like, "And that's my time. Thank you."
And that's my time, guys. I got the light.
We've got Jonathan in the green room right now. We had a Colin, but we've lost a Colin. So just to buy 30 seconds to get that sorted, Zach, we are eating all the pizza. What is your choice pizza and topping?
Oh,
first off,
I mean, well, my choice pizza. I don't know that I've had a better pizza than Joe's Pizza in New York. I think that's still my favorite slice of za. Unfortunately, Joe's does not have the topping. One of the toppings that I need in my premier topping combination, which is pepperoni and pineapple.
Oh,
not
interesting.
I get it. I know. I understand the pineapple is very polarizing for people. Get over it. It's a great topping on pizza. The sweet with the savory of the pineapple. Because here's the thing: Hawaiian. Okay. I had Hawaiian growing up. It's okay. The ham and the pineapple.
The ham is BS.
Marry as well as the pepperoni and the pineapple. And that, my friends, is it. That's it. That's the best taste you can put in your mouth. If Joe's would just give me some goddamn pineapple. I
can just see you going into Joe's with like a can of pineapple slices. And you're like, I'll have a pepperoni, please. And then just putting them on.
Ham pineapple. I feel like I'm in the minority for that, but it is my absolute favorite. Oh, thank goodness I
always thought growing up that pepperoni and pineapple was a Hawaiian pizza. I didn't know there was this weird, horrible thing that had ham slices on it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not even ham.
Never a thing.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah. That's
remember when you figured out as a kid, you're like, well, wait a minute. So Canadian bacon is just ham?
Yeah. I was like,
this isn't bacon.
Yeah. It's almost like, actually, speaking of London, that's the other thing is like, you have to ask for like streaky bacon, I think is what it's called.
Yeah. Well, because the Canadians get it from the English. You know, I mean, it's a Commonwealth thing. I don't know what bacon's like in Australia, but they might have some thick hammy. Oh, is it better?
No, we have the super crispy, thin.
Oh, okay, good.
Interesting. Yeah. But Zach, thank you so much for your time. Have the best rest of the evening. I'm glad you got to. Glad you got to.
Pleasure. Good seeing you, bud.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you, Zach.
Hey, everybody watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you all. Please donate. It's for the great causes and helping people that need that help. So, okay. I go bye-bye.
Amazing.
He really does run his own interview. He's just
like quick story. You know, I've been friends with Zach for well over a decade now, and he's like family, like truly like a brother from another mother. And he's clearly like one of the most talented human beings on the face of the planet. And he hosted a show for Sci-Fi called Geeks Who Drink like 5 years ago or something like that. And I went to a taping, and on my way there, I had this very hubris-laden thought where I was like, you know what? I bet the one thing I can do better than Zach is host a show, because I've been doing it for so long and he's never hosted a show. And then I go to this taping and I watch him do it, and I'm like,
God damn
it, Zach, you're even better than hosting. Like, he's so damn good. And like, we just saw it right here for like 20 minutes. He's like, I know how to answer every question perfectly, and I know that that's my time. Thank you, everyone.
We got a donation from Vaidin. We may have to, because we do have our guests, we may have to put a pin in this or ask our guest as well, Vaidin. But when or where do you find your best and or most interesting ideas? We are going to have that question to our guests. But the Fortify we got to do. Speaking of our guests,
I would like to, I'm all about fortifying y'all, but I encourage you to donate this money to the charities this time. Like, we'll still drink, don't worry, but put this money towards the charities. They need it more than us. Are we ready to bring in our next guest?
If you'd put Fortify in the donation, Vaidin did actually donate $20 as well. So Vaidin's just giving all around. But yes, if you want to introduce, we'll bring up our next guests.
We have both?
Yeah.
Great. Oh, fun. Awesome. All right. Very excited. One of these guests is a huge friend of the show, Jonathan Fernandez. He's been on, I think he might have the longest, like he's been on the most, right? Yeah. Also, just the most stylish mofo on the face of this planet.
Hey, listen, there's a very important show, and I can't slum it up for this thing.
You look great. You look great.
It's so nice to see you all. Like, it's been a billion years. This is one of my favorite things to do ever, and it's nice to be existing in any fashion. Well, existing at all, but also through the show.
Yes, I know,
right? We all know that you're wearing your current pajamas. We know that this is you dressing down for the show.
This it unzips and it's a onesie. It unzips from the back.
Oh my gosh! Look at Jonathan's name.
Prove it. Whoa.
HHHH.
Oh, that's
Stop.
Thank you. But also, we got another guest as well.
Yes. So I'm very excited because now a friend of the show is bringing on a friend. So little backstory, this person hosts a podcast that I became a fan of about a year ago, that through a totally random other group of people, I came across this podcast. And then, I don't know, a couple months ago when I was in New York, I actually stayed with Jonathan and his wife, Lauren, and I brought this podcast up and Jonathan was like, yo, that's my friend Connor. And I was like, you know this person. So Jonathan connected us, and I was very excited to ask Connor to come on and be a guest because I can't wait to tell you all about his podcast. It is the best. But here is Connor Ratliff, the host of Dead Eyes.
Oh, just
Dead
as a
Eyes.
pose. He's been
He looks
everything
great.
that you were saying.
That's just like Connor.
We'll
Oh my
chill
God.
for a sec.
Yeah.
We'll chill for a sec. I know that there was a little bit of a tech glitch, which is why I brought us 4 minutes or so. But as soon as I see Connor moving, I'll bring him back up. In the interim,
that's his calling card.
Tatiana Torres says, "Merry Drunksmas, everyone."
Oh, Tatiana.
45.
Yeah.
Bango.
Hey, Tatiana.
By the way, I switched. I'm now doing this thing called Taco Truck Lager.
Sure.
Ooh, taco truck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also from Yeehold, California.
Mm.
We're going
Nice.
through like the Mexican theme still. Looks like.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, Pizza, Mexican. It's
Jonathan, how have you been? We've had an amazing year. I've been telling you all about it, that I've been watching every single episode of it and I'm obsessed. But Gossip Girl got relaunched. I think it was like 11 or 12 years after it originally came out in 2009 or so. And you have a role in there. It is an absolute
what?
joy seeing you in the show.
That's cool.
And to know that it's already gotten, is it a part 2 or is it the second season or what's that go? But I know that we've just got a whole new bout.
Yeah, that was part two of season 1. So it was like season 1B that came out a few weeks ago now on Thanksgiving, and then but season 2 we're about to start shooting in like a month and a half or so.
Fantastic.
Congrats, man.
HBO for anyone
Really
who wants
cool.
to watch that one as well. We got a Connor, by the way.
yes.
Yes.
we got a Connor.
Hello.
I'm so excited.
Old
Connor,
friend.
this is a big deal for me because I weirdly feel like we're already super tight friends because I basically listen to you once a week, but I realize this is actually the first time we're meeting face to face.
So
Yeah.
and also like when we were hanging out in Little Italy, like, and you found out that we were friends, and then I was like, also I just did his podcast not too long ago, and that episode just came out a couple weeks ago. But then,
Yeah.
Allison just like had my phone like in her hands for like an hour and a half as she was texting Connor through my phone, and that's just what was happening.
We had so much to talk about. Okay, so just so we know, we have to talk about what Dead Eyes is because
Yeah, I don't know it.
we had a podcast, we ended it, and now we're really good at recommending other podcasts people should listen to now that there is no more half-hour happy hour podcast.
Right.
So wait, Connor, do you want to describe what the podcast is, or are you tired of doing that?
I'd be curious. I think because I've said it so many times now, I'd be curious to hear what your description of it is, and I could annotate your description if there's anything that I feel is wildly inaccurate.
Perfect.
I
Okay,
love it.
so back in 2000, Connor was cast in a small speaking role on Band of Brothers, the HBO show. And it was being directed by none other
Love
than
that show. Sorry.
yes,
Everybody
it was
loves that show.
directed-
Everybody loves that show.
I'm getting there.
It was being directed by Tom Hanks. And then the day before Connor was supposed to shoot, he was informed that he needed to re-audition for the part because Tom Hanks thought he had, quote, dead eyes.
Oh my god.
So Connor had to go back, audition in front of Tom Hanks this time, and then was fired from the show.
Amazing.
And then proceeded to like not act for like 13 years or something like that. And then
Wait a
my
minute.
doorbell.
Tom Hanks,
oh,
Connor.
someone's
Maude.
calling Alex right now.
Maude. It's my doorbell.
Oh, got
Mute
it.
I'll be right back.
Alex, okay. Anyway, so Connor has since started this podcast because this is my favorite description of your podcast. Is you said you wanted to start something like serial, but about something not important. So this podcast is all about figuring out why Tom Hanks thinks he has dead eyes. And it's now in season 3. And what's so incredible about this podcast is that it has morphed into being about solving this mystery with Tom Hanks into this like almost overall commentary on the industry all of us work in and how kind of like ridiculously screwed up It is, and how everyone, no matter how successful they are, has some sort of horrific story of being told they have dead eyes or something along those lines. It's a fascinating listen. Connor narrates the whole thing. It's got great storylines. Jonathan was a guest on 2 weeks ago, and I texted Jonathan because they tell this amazing story about how they did this live improv Lexus commercial during a late night show. And I had never heard Jonathan tell this story before. And I was like, yo, how is there this insane story in your life? And I've never even heard it.
Yeah, I keep that one close to the chest because it was so outrageous and makes no sense. It feels like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Connor,
Yeah,
did I do it? Did I do it justice?
Yes, that's exactly right. And it was during Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, back when he hosted Late Night. That was we did 2 live Lexus commercials on national television, selling luxury cars with sort of fake improv. So it was more just like stressful sketch rather than actual improv. It was like write a sketch in like 5 minutes that can be approved by a corporation.
Yeah, right. That is good, right? Because it's not like you could improv a line and Lexus would be like, nope, can't talk about drinking when we're doing cars.
And also at the time, like Fallon was fast asleep because they pre-taped the show like hours before that. But we were like, us suckers have to stay up to do it live during when it actually is airing for the nation.
And for both coasts. It wasn't just staying up until it aired in New York. We had to do it again 3 hours later to do a different commercial for LA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, and Connor, I think it's the same episode, but you tell the story about doing this like literally all day improv with a fake wife and a fake brownstone for Sonos. Yeah. And you go through you explain everything you had to do for like an 8-hour day. And at the end of it, you and your wife have like the actress who played your wife. You're like, do you remember how much we got paid for that? Yeah. And when you said $350, I audibly gasped. No.
Because it was a thing that we did where starting at 9 a.m, and this thing made no sense. Like journalists were scheduled to come in every 15 minutes all day long. And for the first minute, we would be convincingly a couple who lived in this brownstone because we just make small talk and there'd be like Sonos would be playing like music in the background, be like, yeah, we have this Sonos system. We're really happy with it. And then an actor playing our son would come downstairs and interrupt at one point, and it would become this interactive. We'd have to hit all these story beats to bring them through our house. And the journalists would immediately realize this is contrived. This is not real. And they'd be, some of them kind of angry, some of them kind of like, just like frustrated or bored. And we'd do that from 9 to 9:15, and then another journalist would come in and we'd start it over again, which once we'd done it for about 2 hours, once we'd done it like 8 times, you start really losing your mind. Like I remember we took a lunch break and we were like, we have to do this for like 4 or 5 more hours. Yeah. And it was, for $350.
I was like, what? Like in my head, I was like, they probably got paid like $2 or $3 grand or something for the day. And then you said $350, and I was like, no.
It reminds me of like, I went to Newport, Rhode Island, where a lot of the like, all of the old money New Yorkers would have these crazy big houses, and one of them was called the Breakers, and I think it was like Rockefeller, I can't remember. And we went to go take a tour, and the tour was a very nice lady, period clothing, but she was pretending to be in the time, and like people were walking in and being like, oh no, the thing is, the pipe is just, oh well, we got to figure it out, just wait here and enjoy the library. And I was just like, look, I get it, I love it, I'm a performer, you're doing the Lord's work, just tell me where the bathrooms were and why they have gold sinks, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm just, this is not, it feels like not the place that I want to have a murder mystery, unfold in front of me. And it sounds a lot like that, where they're like, just tell me that the Sonos Move is now Wi-Fi and can move anywhere. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, well, especially journalists who are pretty, even a bad journalist will be pretty adept at sniffing out bullshit. They realize they're basically in a theme park attraction where we can't break character, and we have to keep doing it for another like 10 to 15 minutes.
Did you have people there that were like directing or giving you notes or anything like that?
Not really. No, I mean there were people observing it, but it was, at the end of each cycle, there were the journalists would be escorted into the backyard where there was an area where they would talk with Sonos people. So, but they were all, I think, told that they were just coming to a house where a family had a Sonos sound system. Whoa. So they all entered into it as if it was like, yeah, we're just gonna meet some people. Like, yeah, we have Sonos. And so for the first couple of minutes, you could be really convincing because you just make chit chat and you'd be like, yeah, it's pretty fun because you can sort of change what you listen to based on the room. So I like listening to this and she likes that, and we're locked. But then as soon as you start doing things where it's like, Mom, Dad, I need help finishing my assignment. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry about this. And you're trying to be natural with it. But I think the whole day there was one person who enjoyed it, and they were just like, that person. They didn't buy it, but they were like, what is going on? The whole time they were like really delighted by the fact that someone had put all this effort into a thing. But there's some were just very sort of like, all right, okay. Just like, I don't want to talk to Mickey Mouse or whatever. They don't want to interact. I don't want to play imagination with you,
Because it does require a bit of acceptance on the other person's part who did not agree to this walking in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not delightful to people.
And then
is on board for Team Pineapple on Pizza. High for that one. I personally love pineapple on pizza, and it's a hill I'm willing to die on. A question I'd love to know, Connor, Jonathan, how do you two know each other?
We were both I joined a sketch team that Jonathan was on at UCB.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Stone Cold Fox. So we did a lot of shows together.
Yeah, we did shows for 3. Stone Cold Fox have been together for some time, but when we were on the team together, we did a show every Friday night for 3 years.
That's cool.
Wow, good for you guys.
So
I was an understudy. You guys were doing a show because you would do really ambitious shows, and you were doing a show that was like a choose your own adventure sketch show.
Oh, that's
cool. Where the audience would pick at various points what they wanted to happen next, and so there were multiple branches of where the sketches could go. And somebody asked me to understudy for that show.
And also, actually, if memory serves, well, first of all, we all had to memorize 30 sketches, something like that. Jeez. And one of the main storylines was Tom Hanks related.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was called Crisis Town, and so because all this bullshit happens in the town, and then all the people in it had to we had to figure out whatever. But one of the ways that the path of the story would go is that the reason the whole scenario is happening is because Tom Hanks was going to come land his helicopter or whatever in the town square, and then the whole town had to get ready for him basically. And then mice may invade and all this really random stuff. And then, obviously Tom Hanks never showed up.
Of course.
Yeah. All I remember is as an understudy, I had to memorize multiple different versions of the show. I think I did it twice, and both times the audience picked the exact same path. I remember being so disappointed that second time that I had done all that extra memory, because you guys got to do a couple different versions of it. It would vary from week to week.
Yeah, but we definitely found there were some parts of the choose your own adventure that were a bigger dangling carrot. And they didn't have the opportunity, when you read the books, you just kind of use your fingers as bookmarks, where you just kind of I don't want to die on page 45, so I'm just gonna mark this page, reread the thing, and it's kind of
read the book like this.
Yeah, really.
Where are you at with Tom Hanks right now? How has this relationship evolved? Initially, it must have been the person who destroyed your soul, but now where are you at with it? Have you come out the other side? What stage of grieving?
Well, I would say, from the beginning of I'd long ago reached acceptance. I guess, is that the final stage of grief?
It is.
Before I did the podcast, I had already reached acceptance, at least in terms of the disappointment. The tricky thing about it is I never stopped being a fan of Tom Hanks. I went and saw Castaway in the theater, which was shortly after that. I didn't ever, it never made me not like watching Tom Hanks perform. But it was hard because, a lot of the joke of the podcast is how I won't let this go, You know, like it's 20 years since it happened, and some people who hear about the podcast but haven't listened to it yet, their first response is like, "Good God, man, like get over it." But the funny thing about it, to some extent, is that like you can't get over it in the sense that you never, with Tom Hanks is the person that reminds you of a thing, you never stop being reminded of Tom Hanks. There's not that much time. Even just like if I come on this and I'm like, I don't want to talk about Tom Hanks, and we brought up Crisis Town, there's a Tom Hanks connection. Like It doesn't take long before you're talking about Tom Hanks again, or he's on TV, or there's a new movie out, or whatever, you know.
Well, the other thing is, like, I don't know how, like, I forget where Band of Brothers comes together in terms of your like acting career professionally, but I know that like you were like an actor's actor, like growing up and all that stuff, and like you were like, I remember you showing me like you're in the credits of like some play from when the play was like first performed.
Oh my God, I lose my shit when I see that stuff. Like when I know someone who's in the first page of the play being like, this was the first production, I'm like, ah!
Yeah, like, I was in a play called Four by the playwright Christopher Shin when it premiered at the Royal Court in London. That was my first job out of drama school in '98. And so like when they published that play, I'm always in the front, which is like, that's the only time it's happened, is like, you know, and I love that whenever there's like, I think it'd be really funny for people who like find that play now, that my primary thing I'm known for being fired by Tom Hanks. But in terms of my relationship to Tom Hanks, when I started doing the podcast, it was like, well, that will give the podcast like a fun goal. Like it will, you know, there were things I wanted to talk about on the podcast that if I just said like, hey, I'm Connor Ratliff, I'm going to do a podcast about acting, like that's not going to hook people. And like the episode that I did with Jonathan was talking about like acting in commercials. And in some ways, it's like the podcast is sort of like a stealth memoir. It's like my weird stories about working in show business. But on its own, that's not gonna hook people in. The fact that my main, like there was an article that came out about something unrelated to the podcast that introduced me by saying Connor Ratliff best known for being fired by Tom Hanks. And I'm like, oh, I may not ever beat that as a credit. Like that might be like the way that you're like, oh, Mark Hamill from Star Wars, you know, that it's like, oh, Connor Ratliff from being fired by Tom Hanks. That it'll take a lot for me to get something that's gonna now hop above that in the bio, you know.
Until he's on your last episode, you hash it out, and then he puts you in the next movie.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, you try to manifest these things, and sometimes it works. Sometimes you like you're able to like set your sight on a thing and then make it happen. And I've been lucky in terms of some of the people that I've managed to book as guests on this like the podcast has allowed me to book some people that at the beginning I wouldn't have imagined it would be possible to get. So I'm still hopeful. Like that is whether it takes, you know, 2 months or 2 years or, you know, I'd give it up. It was 2 more decades. I can't be doing this for that much longer.
But Connor, yeah. I was gonna say, is it possible that he only said you had dead eyes because he actually was trying to not tell you the real, even more horrible reason he didn't want you? Like,
well, here's the thing: the way it unfolded was when I got the phone call from my agent's office saying you have to do the re-audition. My agent's assistant was the one who told me. Tom Hanks didn't say it to me. Tom Hanks was very nice to me, and was very nice in the audition. But I was also, by that point, I'd spent hours thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know?
Yeah.
It is entirely possible that the answer I'm searching for could reveal something worse.
Really?
Well, I wouldn't mind that because that'd be good for the podcast.
What's wild about it too is like the auditioning is already such a cruel process inherently. And, and then you're always trying to not imagine yourself with the job because the possibility of you having the job is like so close to zero, like any job. And so like the fact that you then go and get it and they're like, sorry, psych, you have to like start again, even though you've already been having like, you know, your parents or your friends and family have already like maybe congratulated you, like this thing is already as real as possible in your brain. and then to go through that, like it's a real like cruel thing to go to. But maybe this was his way of trying to push you in your career forever.
I've had a situation like that. I've gotten a job and I was signing the contracts, and this was a job that would have absolutely changed my career. And I was like, I just quit a really, really big job because it was like really kind of breaching my integrity, but it would have taken me to the next level. But I made that decision. And then this job came up and it was perfect. And after 5 days of the negotiation and getting everything great, and as I was signing it, they went, "Oh, wait, one of the people on set would prefer to not have a blonde, so we've just hired someone else."
Oh,
yeah.
And I no longer had the job. And my agent
dye my fucking hair.
Yeah.
Right. And my agent said, "Look, we can sue them because the agreement was done and they have breached the arrangement, but you will never
work in this town again."
Yeah.
So, but I didn't hear, I mean, it's blonde hair. The feedback that you have gotten, you may as well get a kick in the dick. Like that one.
I would have traded up for that if I could have remained on the production. If I'd said, "I'll take a kick in the dick."
I want to pass it over to you because you were saying that, it's really, really hard being an actor and you just can't count your chickens before they've hatched. But have you had an experience like this where a bit of feedback or something that was said from somewhere higher up just crushed you? Maybe it was a comment from someone. Maybe it was, the internet being the vile place that it can be. But was there one thing that just unraveled you as a person?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I've been lucky to only have a couple, to be honest. But like there was definitely one where just like we were saying, where like all signs are pointing toward you're the person, like this is your job. And there was I can't remember the gentleman's name right now, but at some point BET wanted to do their own version of the Daily Show. And they got this dude who had a CNN show, and he was like a real straight-laced like reporter guy. It made no sense why he could all of a sudden be like a Jon Stewart type at the time. And this woman who was like one of the creators of the Daily Show, she happened to be at one of our Stone Cold Fox shows, the one that we did, like the game show one, where it's like this is like, it was kind of like, this is your life. We did something that was kind of like that. And she ended up being like the person from the audience that we brought onto the stage to interview and then make all the specific references in the show about her and her life from the interview. And then we like, it was opening night, the show like killed. I had a lot of good stuff in that show. And then afterwards, she like waited for me afterwards and was like, "You're fantastic." My family was there too, which was like a rare thing. And she was like, I'm so-and-so. And I knew her name. So you see her name in the credits all the time on the Daily Show. And she was like, "I'm starting this show, blah, blah, blah. Like, what do you guys do now? Do you want to go to dinner?" And we're like, "I guess." Like, this was like never happens, after like a UCB show. And my parents were like, I was like, can you guys wait? Like, can you come and chill for a little bit? Like, yeah, of course. So we go to this place down the street. Like, she pays for dinner. We had this uproarious time. It was incredible. And then I met her, or I had a meeting with her and my manager a couple weeks later. And they're like, and it was clear that I wasn't even going to be asked to test for the show. Like, I was just going to be one of the correspondents on the show. And the other person who was hired was Issa Rae at the time, who had no show. Like, she like Insecure didn't exist yet. She had just done her web series,
Black Girl.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen some of that," or whatever. And it got to the point where they were truly like, this coming Wednesday, like, mark your calendar. We're going to do a test of the show and the material. Like, you're going to write some stuff up, but it's not a test for me. It wasn't like an audition. It was just like trying to figure out the format of the show. And they're going to bring in an audience, whatever. And I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." And then as the week came, like, I wasn't hearing anything from anybody. And then the day before, when I was just like, I don't know, am I going to just show up to the studio tomorrow? At the time that they told me, they just asked me about costumes or anything. The day before, then I get a call from my manager who I spoke to that executive producer, and they were like, "Sorry, it's not you." And the way it was explained to me was that West Coast BET, who had not been involved in the process at all up until that point, saw some of my work that was online and then decided that I wasn't edgy enough, or like my comedy wasn't edgy enough, which translates to this fucking guy is not black enough. Like truly, that's like code word for all that stuff, right? And because they saw me, like I was on, I don't know, they saw like some bit I did on like with some like sommelier or something, and they referenced this. They were like, I don't know, we saw his like sommelier bit, and he's like, like they didn't even say like, can we see other stuff? They were just like, we saw this one thing. It was like kind of like harmless comedy, so like fuck this guy basically. And then I remember like getting off the phone and just like laying on the shitty futon I had in the shitty basement apartment that we had at the time. My now wife, like we had just like moved in together, and I had quit some jobs too, and I was just like, I lay on the couch like with like the darkness of the basement already, because it was like noon. It was already dark, and it was just like staring at the ceiling until like my wife came home from her teaching job at the time. So it was like 3 hours later, and I was just like, it wasn't even so much pain that I felt as much as just like I felt like a complete sucker. Like I was just like, why did I believe any of it? Even though it was like all the things that led up to it were just like, I mean, we were taken out to dinner by the EP. Like that's not something that could like happens, you know? So like, I don't know, that was devastating. It's horrible.
It's really bad when you get your hopes up. Wow. Like that's the thing that I found more than anything is like, whenever you start being like, oh, maybe this could really work out, like that's when you're most vulnerable. Like I can, if I'm in a mood to get rejected, I can take it all day. You know, like you can reject me, it doesn't matter. But once you get to that point where like, oh, this may actually happen, that's when you really like, every part of you is like exposed to get hurt. Once you start thinking like, oh, maybe this is gonna be the thing. Maybe this is gonna be, you know.
Yeah, and I think something that people, well, I kind of always make this joke, but I always say when someone's like, oh, you booked this thing, or how's whatever job going? I was like, I don't believe that this job exists until I'm at home watching it on television.
Yeah.
And seeing me come up and be like, okay, it's a real thing now, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, because otherwise it's like, I don't know how many, this is not common knowledge, but you know, when you go through the audition process, it's like audition, callback, maybe like a meeting with the producers or directors, and then maybe another one of those or another two of those. And then eventually they bring you in front of the studio, and then the studio suits like all sit in a room and like watch you do this thing that you've already done 10,000 times. But by the time you get to that moment, it's like between you and like 3 other people. And like you're in the waiting room with these 3 other people. And then you're just like kind of like trying to keep some kind of not like murderous vibe basically, because you're trying to like clear up. But what people don't know is that like by the time you get to the test, you have already like all the contract stuff is signed. Like you already know how many episodes you're going to be in. You already know how much money you're going to get per episode. And it's like, and the reason they do that is so that you don't get chosen later and then have the power and say like, all right, now that you want me, these are my terms. And so you're completely robbed of any power that you ever have, which is 0. And
they exploit the hope behind it, don't they?
Yeah.
They'll actually start negotiating not for the best or well-deserved price, but to actually use that as a way to bid yourself and make yourself look more, you know, what, delightful? What is that word?
Every one of those scenarios is made like it's almost a joke, because I remember the first test.
It doesn't happen in Australia.
What do you mean?
We don't do deal memos in Australia. If you get the job, then you negotiate. We don't have that. And I remember after I think I was here for 6 weeks before I auditioned for a hosting show, and I got a deal memo. And it was this thing where it's like, it was one of 4 that we had to negotiate and all of that kind of stuff. And you had to kind of be strategic with how you're going to do it. Did you want the job really badly, so you're going to make your rate a little lower so that they were more likely to choose you? That was really like a bitter pill for me to swallow straight away. You're like, damn. And the hardest part is not mentally spending that money.
Right.
That you haven't heard yet. Because when you see those zeros, you're like, oh, I can do this.
It's almost always more money than you've ever seen in your life up until that moment, because you're obviously hopefully trying to build on your career, or you just haven't had that opportunity yet. And it's like I went for the first test I ever went to was at Fox at their studio in Los Angeles, their lot. And also like we were walking into this conference room that was it was a comical, like it was a cartoon conference room, because it was like 60 yards long, and like the entrance was like on the opposite end of where the suits were, and all the suits, there were like 15 of them. They were sitting on these like little kind of stadium seating, like all on the other side. So you have to like walk into the gallows across these people. in silence, and they're not there to laugh. Like, even though you're doing you're there to do a comedy show, and I was there to improvise a bunch. Like they're not there to laugh, and it was like, but that's like what you're supposed to go through in order to then hopefully be greenlit to then make people laugh at home, and it's like not conducive to that. It's like it's so torturous.
Yeah.
So we are wrapping up because the time has, we had a little nice window there and we got to know you both. Quite lovely. It's great. But to end things, we're talking about pizza orders. What is the most ideal pizza that you can have? I want thickness or thinness and the toppings.
Oh, yeah, you do, Maude.
Yeah.
Thickness or thinness?
Lately, there's this place in New York. Oh, now, I mean, it's kind of a trend, but Roberta's and also Barboncino's do this pizza where it's like a thin crust. And they also have, it's like sopressata, but then also that like spicy honey on it. And I don't know, I wouldn't say I dream of it every night, but it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that Calabrian chili honey.
I mean, I'm pretty boring when it comes to pizzas and pizza toppings, but a week from Monday, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be visiting my family in Missouri, and I'm going to go to a place called Shakespeare's Pizza in Columbia, Missouri, get a pepperoni pizza. And I mean, I like New York pizza, and New York is deservedly proud of its best pizza, but my favorite pizza is this one place in Columbia, Missouri, called Shakespeare's Pizza. If you've been there, it's not like any pizza I've ever had anywhere else.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. While we wrap things up, Connor, where can people find your podcast, find you online?
At Connor Ratliff on Twitter. And if you look up Dead Eyes Podcast, it should bring it up.
Love it.
And it's so good. Start from the beginning and just listen through. Also, quick shout out, this past episode, I also audibly gasped out loud because you guys talked about very briefly another friend of the show, Isaiah Mustafa. So randomly, and I was like, Isaiah, and I immediately sent him the podcast and was like, dude, you come up like 10 to 15 minutes in. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, just
wow.
That's hilarious.
He's got some nice
I did have a weird, because this most recent episode is specifically about how I was almost Colonel Sanders a few years back. And I didn't realize until I was like, I came very, very close. And as I was walking out of the final audition, I heard a person in the room say, does anyone know what Daryl Hammond is doing? I was just like, as the door was closing, it was like the end of the, it's like the door closing at the end of The Godfather. I was just like, me looking out being like, oh no.
Yeah.
I was top 5 for the Colonel. And a few years later, I did a bit of branded content on the Chris Gethard show where I was the Colonel. And I just realized today that episode of the Chris Gethard show where I do branded content as Colonel Sanders is on HBO Max, the same platform, just a few clicks away from Band of Brothers. So
yes,
I'm getting closer. Like things are starting to complete themselves in different ways.
Oh, you are the nice. Jonathan, where can people find you online?
Just at JFanPrime. Mostly Instagram. I thought about TikTok recently, but I like not being a part of it.
Okay.
You can get big real quick,
good
though.
call.
Awesome. Well, Jonathan, thank you as always for coming on. We do believe that you're the guest who's been on this show the most. And
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Connor, it's an absolute pleasure to like actually talk to you face to face. At some point, I don't know why this didn't occur to me before, but at some point I will have to tell you about the one time I crossed paths with Tom Hanks, also coincided with quite literally the worst night of my professional life. So
wow.
We'll talk.
Well, you're
Let's talk. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
You're have her on the podcast.
All right.
Well, lovely to have you both.
Thank
we're
you.
Gonna continue consuming pizza. I'm already getting a little bit buzzed. Hopefully, Jonathan will see you next year, if not sooner. Take care, both of you. Just like that. We've got our next guest. So,
how are we doing on donations real quick?
We will. Tom, are you taking shots?
Yeah, why?
You're shooting.
That's what the shot glass is for. Yes.
Fortify. So if people donate Fortify,
not doing full shots. Not when they fortify. No, I'm not. I mean, I drink a lot, but I'm not that
good.
Well, maybe I am, but you don't.
Alrighty. So here we have the this is for Extra Life 420. Hey,
oh my God, look at that.
420 raised. While we've got this, Todd's got a drink ready to come in. Our next guest. But Vaidin's donated 25. Russ says, happy holidays, everyone. Missed the podcast, but love that you guys get back together for a mini Drunksmas. Pineapple rocks, and you should really try Detroit style if you haven't. Fortify. Jorge, $30. Chris, $20, says Fortify. Good Lord. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Mm-hmm. Ken Storm donates $50 saying thanks for supporting organizations like this, Fortify. We'll put a pin in that, Fortify.
Put a pin in that.
We'll come back to it. We'll come back to that, Fortify. We'll do Ken's. I will randomly put it up in the show when Ken's $50 Fortify is coming up.
All right, and let's just real quick reiterate, if you make a donation of $20 or more, forward your donation to the halfhourhappyhourfans@gmail.com account, and I will slowly but surely get you your $20 code for Pizza Hut.
Matthew, thanks for the $10. Anonymous, thanks for the 20. Tim, artist Tim, who gave us a Fortify before. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. Brian, thanks for 25. Alberto, thanks for 20. Brian, thanks for 25. Maude, thanks for 20. Salarak, he killed me a lot in Halo recently. Thanks for the 20. Stephen Summers, thanks for the 20. Says 2 days of more drinking streams back to back. It's a Christmas present in itself. I hope you avoid the hangover again, Maude. Rock solid. KP Dubs, $20. Thank you so much. The Potato Pope, thanks for $25. Mike K, thanks for 20. Matt E, thanks for 25. Saying, let's get this party started. Fortify. And that was a minute before we went live. And then next break, I'll go through the Black Girls Code donations.
Woo! That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we are absolutely getting these donations happening. In fact, oh my gosh, Cheryl has dropped a triple digit.
Cheryl's my best friend from Space Camp, y'all. She donates she does food every year for Drunksmas, and she literally texted me earlier today asking where she could send food, and I was like, please don't send food. Too much stuff is covered. And I was like, please just donate. And then she texted me at the beginning of the show. I'm going to call her out. Cheryl, I love you. But she texted me being like, I'm old. I don't understand how discourse works. How can I donate? So I just copied and pasted the links to her in a text so she could donate. Cheryl, love you so much. Also, got to do a shout out to your husband, Matt, because apparently he gets very offended that I only ever thank Cheryl. So also shout out to your husband too.
And now it's time for our next guest. Allison, do you want to introduce again?
Oh, yes, I would love to. Next guest, yes, has been on many.
I met him. What? The last Drunksmas that we did in studio was the first time I really got to hang out with Todd, and we became friends from that. So
that's awesome. Yeah, so we have on another, super friend of the show, Todd Stashwick, who you know from so much stuff. 12 Monkeys, one of my favorite shows.
Yes, Rocksteady Stashwick.
You've probably
from the Nerd Cave itself.
And what?
Coming from the Nerd Cave itself.
Oh my God! So
it is a lair. It is a nerd lair.
This is Todd's garage that he turned into just the coolest nerd hangout ever, and it is where I very thankfully get to play Dungeons and Dragons once a month.
Heard of it?
Because I am now in an ongoing game for the first time in my life that Todd DMs, and it's the best.
Top of the DM.
I love it.
Todd, do you have? I know recently you were liking the some posts about the new proton pack they were trying to build, the fan build, right? Do you have your own other kind of proton pack in there? I just got one like for Halloween this year. It's pretty awesome, but it's not that.
Well, I don't know if you can see it. So a couple things.
Oh yeah, there's your proton pack and the
that proton pack my father made for my son when he was stance for Halloween.
That's awesome.
And then down there is the Hasbro proton pack next to the Lego Firehouse. And then Yuri Lowenthal gave me this amazing Venkman print because Venkman's my boy. So in answer to your question, Tom, like 3 versions, and then I've already like jumped in on the Hasbro, the actual big one that they're making,
Yeah, I still have all the
have
toys.
An illness.
Oh yeah, you do. I still have all the toys from the '80s in their original packages. The Firehouse, the 4 main Ghostbusters, and the cards. It's the back of the house.
Did you acquire them in the '80s and not open them?
No, I got them all for Christmas in the '80s and opened them, and then sold them at a garage sale when I got too cool for Ghostbusters. And then maybe like 20 years ago, my dad found them all at like some kind of sale.
That's
and
amazing.
Got them all packaged, so they're back at the house. Next time you drop by, ask Jen; she'll show them to you.
That I will do.
So Todd, you're such a
Did you
wonderful
say you'll gift them?
She'll probably give them to you if you go see Jen at the house. They're still there in the closet. Take them.
Todd, I was going to say, you're such a wonderful champion of Dungeons and Dragons. You've been playing it for decades. You're so good at it. You are so generous when you put on these games as well. But you've actually been incredibly busy expanding your repertoire in terms of what Dungeons and Dragons means to you. With your nerd lair, you also have a bar. and you have made a specialized D&D nerd cocktail book.
You'd think I'd have one at the ready.
Yeah, I was like, "Where's your Mystic Libations copy, my friend?"
It's in the other room.
Oh, because you are talking to a very, very nerdy fan base right now, and this is your prime demographic. Did you want to chat about your book?
I sure would. So during the kind of the chunkiest part of the lockdown, 12 Monkeys opened up a wonderful door for me with there was a gentleman by the name of, he goes by Trader Brandon. He's a former Imagineer. He lives in Florida and still works on theme parks and things like that. And he was kind of new. Yes, I did. Yes. I'm reading the comment. So Trader Brandon, he was the art director for Trader Sam's. Oh, yeah. So he is a massive tiki aficionado, and his wife is a huge 12 Monkeys fan, and he himself was a fan of the show, and so he does like Instagram lives. So he's like, "Hey, come on over, Todd. Would you be willing? Because I see you post tiki stuff as well." And I said, "Absolutely." And so we talked. We became fast friends from this one Instagram live. I collect people, and it turns out he had never played D&D. Now he plays Fireball Island, and he does a lot of like tabletop, but he'd never played D&D. He's like, "Yeah, that was a nerd blind spot for me." And I'm like, "Well, you've come to the right person, because everybody's playing on Zoom now." So we started playing on Zoom, and so we started like, we should make up a drink for this week's game so that kind of have a collective experience. What you can tell, I just said this over and over at LA Comic-Con last weekend. So that everybody has a collective experience on Zoom, no matter where they were sitting in what part of the country. We were all sipping the same beverage. So it kind of caught on, and some of you may have experienced that very thing when we were playing D&D together on Zoom, where I'm like, "Oh, I would email you a drink that Brandon and I created," and we're like, "I think we are onto something here," because it turns out D&D people like to drink. So so we kickstarted it. I know. Imagine that, sitting on a table with nerds, right?
They also hate sex. They don't like either of those things.
And so have you ever been to Dragon Con? Clearly not. Now it's getting warm in here because my wife put a heater on. I had to come out with like the hat and the sweater, and then my wife put a heater right next to me, and so now I'm roasting. So then we kickstarted the book because we were like, you know what, we can come up with over 100 recipes, and then I'll write a bunch of narrative, and we'll do an adventure, and we'll make it a D&D book and a tiki cocktail book at the same time. And we funded in a day, and then we went on to make a good amount, enough for that we pre-sold 1,000 copies. Wow. And then we printed up a whole bunch that now I sell on my nerd site, which is thenerdcircus.com, where I sell all sorts of nerdy stuff, dice and Mai Tai glasses and T-shirts that have to do with nerdy shows that I've been on and whatnot.
How many recipes in that book of drinks? Because you could do like a whole show, each drink show, right?
You probably could. There it is. How many? You know what? I'll donate a book. Somebody donates $50, I'll give them a book.
Nice.
All right,
so you donate $50 and I'll sign it. So the first person
I'm just
to
going to
donate,
say this to make this clear. The first $50 donation email that I get in after 7:23 p.m., I will forward to Todd, and that's who will get the book. I'm on it.
Yes. And I will sign it, and you'll get swizzle sticks and all that. There's there's close to 120 recipes, and there's non-alcoholic, there's tequila and rum and tequila, which is like the tropical section. Then there's the gin and vodka, which are the more icy section, and then there's the bourbon whiskey and scotch section, which is like our urban adventure, and then it all culminates into a one shot that actually incorporates the drinks.
That's awesome, man.
That's so cool.
Very cool.
That's fun.
I mean, dude, honestly, playing D&D at your place was one of the best D&D experiences ever. Because it's just so like special. Because it's like that room is so filled with love. First off, do you have a dragon in there now? I saw a dragon head somewhere, and I was like, Todd got a dragon head? Oh my
can
god!
You see it? Oh, there's too much light.
Oh, there's too much light.
There. It's there. You can't see it.
I can kind of see it. Actually, it kind of looks like the dog from Ghostbusters right now when it's
it breathes fire and it lights up.
Great. It's so great, man.
I'm 8.
We all are.
You know what it was is I've been collecting stuff since I was a kid, and I've always had an array of toys, and then we just don't park our car in the garage, and we have actual animals that won't leave you alone if you're gaming inside, because there's food, and I have an English bulldog, so he's just like, and so we just was like, let's turn this room into the 80s basement of our dreams. I have arcade machines, and it's just, and then it was like, I do like to I like to play the D&D. Yeah. And I'm making up for lost time because Maude, I started playing it 10 or 11, and then I quit because of the Satanic Panic.
Oh yeah, the 80s with the
at 13.
Tom Hanks movie, right?
I was a scared little boy who was like, oh, these are the gateway to the devil. And I gave them all away. And then I came back to the game because of David Nett. After he was training me for 12 Monkeys, and he was a DM, and I'm like, please. And so I've been doing the same ongoing that he DMs for 4 years.
Is that because you sold your soul to get into the business, and then the Satanic Panic didn't matter because that makes such sense. Exactly. The timeline tracks.
It does. So like 2015 rolled around, and I put it on Facebook. I'm like, I want to play D&D again, because I had heard Abraham Ben Ruby was like talking about playing D&D. I was at an audition, and he was there. He's like, oh, I was up late playing D&D, and this is like a decade ago, and I'm like, you were doing what? And he started talking about it, so I went on eBay and bought all my old books back, kind of like Tom with his Ghostbusters figures. Only I'm not giving these away.
I'm saying Jen might give them away. I'm not giving them away. But the old 80s, there was that panic back in the 80s about D&D, right? Because there was a Tom Hanks TV movie, right?
Which was sort of based on a real life event that this guy went missing. Mm-hmm. I guess he had like a psychological fugue, and he also happened to play D&D, and so there was this like, well, it was probably the D&D that made him snap. Yeah. And
I remember that
he just left town. But then that spawned a book, which then spawned like the 80s. They wanted to blame everything on like rock and roll, and and now it's video games. It's like anything that's fun, they go, that's the gateway to sin.
All right.
Yeah.
Allison, do we have someone send in their $50 receipt? Because the Potato Pope is now.
Wait.
But Ken Storms has already donated $50. And
I know.
Aaron has donated $50. And Brad's donated
oh my gosh. Okay. I got a couple donations, but they were not $50 donations. I just got our first $50 one after 7/23. And guess what? It is our good friend Dougie.
Dougie! Potato Pope, was very calculated, knew what he was doing.
I should also do another shout out to Dougie, because Dougie not only was our first donation, but he also donated to both charities and told me to give the code for the second one to someone else, since he already got his pizza code from the first one. So now he's getting a book. Dougie,
that's our Doug.
You're a VIP viewer today. Let's put it that way.
It's gold standard.
So Todd, I'm gonna forward this email to you. Oh yeah, and we're fortifying.
Well done. How exciting.
Yeah. Also, real quick, someone else asked me a question if these codes have an expiration date. The honest answer is I have no idea.
Yeah. Good thing it's December. We're all getting off work. If you're going to order a pizza, this is a month to do it.
I mean, I'd use it within the next year. I'm sure it's good for a year, but I truly don't know. I could, if for some reason I find out from Pizza Hut that is not.
Democracy won't be standing in a year, so order it now.
Yeah, use it now.
Yeah.
Use it
Get
now.
that
you
pizza.
You can't barter for it later.
Yeah, it'll be currency in the end days.
Also,
Because actually, Pizza Hut will be the one thing that still stands.
Yeah. Amazing. From the great pizza wars of 2022.
We have raised $515 for Extra Life. We've raised $665 for Black Girls Code. We're trying to get $1,000 for each.
We're doing
that
so
Pizza Hut
good.
can match that. I know. I'm so stoked. But we are. If you're giving, then you're also getting. If you donate $20 or more, we will be sending you a Pizza Hut code, which will give you $20 off your next order. So it's kind of giving money to get pizza, which is kind of cool as well. Giving and getting over here. And then Potato Pope got a book. Yay!
Yay!
That's exciting, Todd. You said you were going to sign that, or am I putting?
I'll sign it.
There you go.
All right, I just forwarded you the email.
LA Comic Con.
Yeah, how was that?
I had a good time. It was fun to be back on a con floor, and you know, it was like old times because when I first did a con, when I actually met you, Alex, I was working a booth with Dennis Calero for Devil Inside.
Yeah.
Of which there's some copies for sale on thenerdcircus.com.
Comes all the way back.
And so, but then after I hadn't done that for a while because then I was going for 12 Monkeys, and then cons stopped. Yeah. So it was nice to be, and then Collector's Paradise and Comic Bug did a whole thing called Creators Court this year. So it was right next to Artist Alley, where they just offered me a table and I sold some Nerd Circus stuff. It was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, I haven't been to a con in so long, man.
And now my daughter actually makes costumes with her like sewing machine, and she cosplays.
Your daughter's so clever, though.
It's
clever
the deep
puppet.
cuts are crazy.
Todd, you've been acting for many, 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 many years. We've been talking earlier about the one bit of feedback or a comment that you read or anything about you that someone said that has just unraveled you or stuck with you. I know that the one that kind of was like, I get a lot of shit online, but one of them, because like, you know, my family is in another country. I hope you die of cancer and your family doesn't miss you. And the cancer part, I was fine. I was like, life happened. But that your family doesn't miss you, I was like, that's where you got me.
That's cold. That's cold. Well, there's two that pop to mind immediately that I'll be discussing with my therapist again tomorrow. Thanks. First was in college. I was having a bad time doing a production of Merry Wives of Windsor, and the AD comes downstairs, the assistant director, at intermission. She goes, "Todd Stashwick, what are you doing on that stage? That is bad high school acting, and I'm only down here because the director can't face you himself."
Wow.
I was 18.
Wow.
What is wrong with people?
Has any job that you've gotten, or like, you know, that you didn't get that you thought you were going to get or you were super close to, has anything compared to that? Or did that actually set you up as the most brutal deep cut that you love?
I also remember when I was 7 doing a Christmas pageant, and we had it was like Christmas around the world, and I was Mexico because my dad had a sombrero, and so I remember holding up because that's what qualifies. And so I remember holding up the map of Mexico, and then at the end everybody was clapping, and so I tucked the map underneath my armpits, and I started clapping myself. And I looked down, and Mrs. Cougar, her name, real name, she goes, "Todd Stashwick, get off that stage!" So I showed her, and then the one that's akin to what you just said, Maude. I remember back when IMDb had comments before the onslaught of every other place that has comments before Twitter. Somebody wrote in The Riches, I was on a show called The Riches on FX, and somebody wrote in the comments, they should fire him because he's ugly.
Oh,
wow.
So that tracks.
That was Eddie,
mine,
by the way.
So mine, I've been thinking about this, but mine is when I first started on G4, someone wrote in the message boards that they didn't know why they hired me because I was, quote, barely TV pretty. And I was like,
amazing.
oh, There's something about the qualification that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Barely. But you were TV pretty, so you can at least walk away going.
Yeah, you were just on the edge.
Barely. I eked in under the wire for TV.
I've been to those websites, Barely TV Pretty.
Yeah.
They're on the dark web, though.
I will say I've told this story a couple times, probably on this show, but my first email I ever received when I got my gig hosting Attack the Show, I was the screensavers at the time, but I literally took over, and the first email I got was like, first day at the office, I got like a cubicle, a computer. I was like, yeah. And the first email, literally the subject just says, Alex Albrecht should fucking die. And I was like, huh. It was great because I had done literally nothing. I mean, I'd done like a series of Dell commercials. You know what I mean? Like there was no way it had, and I was like, oh, none of this has to do with me. But I will say, maybe it had to do with me.
Well, maybe it was a scientific hypothesis, wondering if you might not.
There was a question mark
because he should die like all of us.
But will he? We don't know.
There was an ellipsis.
There's a
Yeah.
But the one that sticks out in my mind that really kind of chapped my ass and got me kind of fired up is it was a live. I mean, it became Attack of the Show, right? Hour-long live television show, and they had just moved to LA, and they decided to have a live studio audience, right? Which I loved coming from improv. I was like, yeah, audience, let's do it. It was all staunch old like Leo Laporte, Patrick Norton fans. So it was like super ham radio guys. You know what I mean? Like it was just not the Attack of the Show audience. And they decided that they were going to have a warm-up person, but the warm-up person was just like a PA, like just somebody that was there. Like clearly no ability to warm up a crowd. And on day 3, I'm sitting there getting ready to go live, to do live television, and I'm like looking at the script, all this stuff, and I hear the lady go, so, what does everybody think of our new host, Alex? And I'm literally like, tap, tap, tap my script, and this guy who's probably like 65, grizzled, beer belly, and he just goes, well, he needs to calm down, and once he calms down, he might be okay.
Is this the first
He's too
time
funny for us.
This is
a man has been told to calm down?
I will tell you
this. Let's be honest. Alex would be the man to be told to calm down.
That is an achievement, and I'm proud of you, boo.
Yeah, this is not. Yeah. But anyway, so I remember at the end of the show, because I mean, it fucking pissed me off. I was like, what the fuck are you even asking? Why would you ask a person, how is this guy doing right before he goes live? I was like, what? And I remember going to the executive producer, and I was like, you got to fucking get rid of that shit. Like, what? How is that a thing that she asked? And they were like, get it. Don't worry about it. It'll never happen again.
I love this comment. Alex needs to smile more.
Yeah, you'd be a lot prettier if you smiled, Alex.
Literally, just remember, well, he just needs to calm down.
Such a pretty face.
Getting a little emotional. Is it that time?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It incensed me. Anyway.
Fair enough. I get it.
It was fun.
I want to do one more comment about the donations that are coming in because I'm realizing some people, which is wonderful, please do this, but some people are donating to both and sending both things in and are asking if they get codes for both. Oh. I'm going to say yes, we do have a limited number of codes, so I'm going to wait to send the doubles out until after the stream is done to make sure that everyone is getting at least one code. But if you have donated twice, I will try to get you a second code. Just wait on it if that would be okay. Thank you.
By the way, I just love McCoogan just says, and that PA was Allison.
It was that was the beginning of mine and Alex's beautiful relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. I love it.
Maude, I think you have to ask Todd the pizza question.
Yes, I've been asking all of our guests because we, thanks to Pizza Hut, who are matching $1,000 for donations for 2 charities, so up to $2,000, and also sent us a triple pack, which means 2 pizzas and breadsticks and Cinnabon buns.
You're lying.
Oh, dude, we are
we got all the pizzas.
That can't be happening.
Yeah,
I've eaten that much already. But we're asking, out of all the ways that you can order a pizza, and we've had pizza together, so I kind of know your choice, but thin slice, thick slice, New York slice, Chicago slice, how do you have it and what do you put on it?
I can't not be where I'm from, and I'm a Chicago boy. So I always look forward to my trips back home so I can get me some Chicago deep dish and or stuffed pizza. It's what I grew up with. I know New Yorkers go, that's not a pizza, that's a casserole. I've heard all the jokes, and they are hilarious. They're so funny. Being where you're born and eating the thing that you grew up with somehow is inferior. Right. Yet, I can't not love it. I can't not love it. And how do I get it? Yeah, I'm a veggie guy, so I like it with the thank you. I'm a veggie guy, so I like it with the spinach and the onions and the mushrooms, but I like it with the top crust and the sauce over it.
No pineapple.
And it's this thick. I do like pineapple on my pizza.
Yes.
I think we ordered pineapple on the pizza when you were here.
Yeah, because I requested it, and I said, I was like, could I get some pineapple?
And I jumped on board with that because I'll have with the green peppers. Come on.
Yeah, divine. Thank you so much, though, for stopping on by for this year's Drunksmas. We raise money. One last plug, thenerdcircus.com. Not only can you buy Todd's fantastic book, which is all about a plethora of cocktails based on Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
And I can confirm, because we have one every time we do this monthly D&D game at Todd's, and he picks a new drink to be the theme for the night. So I've had many of them by this point, and they are all
so good. So the guy that created all the recipes, Roy Hansel, is a bartender currently at Trader Sam's at Disney. So they're all legit. Yeah.
Well, we've got to do a little bit of a top up as well for that one. I tell you what, though, D&D and booze does go hand in hand. The perfect combination. So if you play D&D and you love it, get yourself that book. Head over to the website. Todd, I'm so glad you dropped by.
Thanks for having me.
I need to play some more D&D whenever you'll have me. You are very, very good at it.
It was fun. Thank you.
Experience.
I have to play with Tom. Tom's the only one in this roster that I haven't played with.
Go to do it, Tom.
Let's just play Ghostbusters. I got my suit, backpack.
I did a Ghostbusters themed game when Brandon was in town. It was a D&D game, but it was Ghostbusters.
Cool. Love it.
They had to buzz ghosts. It was
sweet,
fun.
Man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down.
Well, we've got our next guest on standby as well. We'll do a check-in for charity. But Todd, have a great rest of the night. We'll chat soon.
Thank you so much, Todd.
So let's have a little quick check over. We're going to do Black Girls Code. Keep in mind, those that have donated a little bit high or that we didn't get to fortify, I've got a banner ready to go. So if it pops up, we will have to fortify when you see it. In saying that, though,
we should get more booze.
Yeah, Maude, can you handle this while Alex and I do a refill?
Can I go to the bathroom? Oh, you Maude.
Oh, you are too? Great. It's the Maude show now. I'm empty as well. That's all right. We are putting booze back, and it's been an absolute pleasure doing so. I'm going to quickly set up a share so that we can talk through our Black Girl Code donations that's happening. Already 665 that has been donated out of the 1,000 goal. So let's talk through some of these. As we mentioned, Allison's Space Camp bestie, Cheryl, has donated $100 in honor of Cottontail with some bunny rabbit emotes. See, this is what you got to do. You got to have the drink right here ready to go. Is it going to be cold? No. But am I dedicated? Yes. Matthew Palmer, thanks for the $10. Anonymous dropping another $20 over here. Thank you. Tim, artist Tim, donating on both as well as a super chat saying, on behalf of the Happy Hour family, always appreciate you. Brad Caney, hello, $60 and some amazing jokes throughout the course of this evening. Just continuing to be a patron of science. Loving that one. Thank you, Brad. That donation, $60, truly is appreciated. Daniel_P, $25. Happy Drunksmiths. Alberto for $20 saying code it up. Topher Vice with $20. Chris Jacobson with $20. Scott Max with $20 as well. Potato Pope, got a new book coming your way, my man. $25 there saying Happy Hour says hi. Fortify Fortify.
We're all here. We're all here. Maude, thanks for holding down the fort.
Sorry,
Still
Maude.
waiting on Alex. That's all good. Maybe he's getting a toilet trip in there, a bio break. Moving on. $20 from Marb_04. Josh TC, thanks for the $20 as well. Saying, he's not even here to receive the compliment. We'll tell the chat.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just saw Cheryl's comment donated in honor of Cottontail.
Can you explain that one?
Yeah. So when Cheryl and I were in space camp together, it was me, her, and our friend Bianca. We were like a threesome, and long story short, we ended up calling ourselves the like 3 murderous bunnies for some reason, and we named ourselves Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, and I was Cottontail.
Cute.
That was my space camp nickname.
Oh, that's really, really cute. When Alex is back, we'll say that Josh says, "Love you, Alex," a former Dignation fan. We got Brian G with the $25 donation saying Merry Drunksmas 2021. KP Dubs bringing the subs with $20, and Vaidin with $20 saying Mod Squad.
Nice.
So appreciating all of those.
Thank you guys. Yeah, that's
pages and pages. Oh, Seb. Seb.
Oh my God. What?
Jablink, Isaac has said $20 Fortify, so we all need to drink for that one.
Let me just pour myself another drink. Thanks, man. Look at that.
But Seb, not wanting to be outdone by the Cottontail crew, is donating $100.01. Saying
That's
Fortify. Now it's the right stream. Loving that one. Alex, did you just see that?
Yeah.
$100.
$100 of donations, and Seb said Fortify, so you know what we got to do with that one. That's a big drink. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see it here. I don't think I saw this page. Jablink $20, Potato Pop another $20, Tim $20, Jorge 30. I think I did read this out. Adam Tulos, hello, thank you for the 20. Anonymous said Fortify. Christ. And then did you see who donated under that one? Podcat.
Ye old Podcat.
$20 says Fortify with an evil little devil face.
Yeah, he is. Evil little
and
devil.
Darren with $50. So thank you so much to all these donations coming in. Just to recap, $765.01 for Black Girls Code, and we've got $515 for Extra Life, which is going to the Children's Hospital of LA. So we're trying to get 1,000 each. We're technically past the halfway mark of the stream as well. So we'll try our best. The Fortifies, I'm glad they should be worth double where we're this shit-faced, because they're starting to hurt, my loves. 3/4 of a pizza, but it's going to happen. I just see.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I just saw in the comments, Seb said it was supposed to be 101, not 100. It was supposed to be $100.01. It was supposed to be $100.
Oh, we got $100.01. Well, that's petty, Seb. that's.
It just reminds me. I mean, we kind of got on this like doing streams to raise money for charity when I did the thing for LLS back in the day.
Yeah.
And we had encouraged all our listeners to donate $30-ish.
Yeah.
So hold on. I feel like I'm echoing. I feel like so many people started donating like $32.33 because it was the length of the most recent podcast or something like that. And the charity organizers contacted me and they were like, "Why are you getting so many donations for these weird amounts? Like, who donates this?" And I was like, "It's our podcast listeners. They're the best."
Yeah.
We've got our next guest. She's been patiently waiting in the green room this entire time. She says she's poured herself a white wine and she is ready to rumble with our drunkness. Alison, you've been doing all the intros, so I'm going to palm it off back to you.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, she's another longtime friend of the show. I think I still have this echo, don't I? What is this? Is this any better? I didn't change it.
If we need to buy a second. Here at Pat says, how many shots do I need to catch up?
5, maybe? 5 total?
5.
Maybe give or take 6.
Maybe.
All right. I think she's worked with almost every single one of us at some point in time. She's a wonderful woman who's hugely involved in the nerdy world. It is our very good friend Michelle Morrow.
Yay!
Casually's got the Nintendo Switch out. Love that.
Yeah, I'm full gamer girl tonight, guys. Full gamer girl. I've got my Switch. I've got popcorn. I've got white wine.
You wore a great holiday sweatshirt like me.
Yeah, I came ready.
I wore red. I got the red.
Oh, that's a cool sweatshirt.
Yeah, is that like Donkey Kong but with the tauntaun?
That's an old like Jinx one from.
Yeah,
I remember Jinx.
Remember
Oh,
Jinx?
God, they're back in the
Andrew's
day.
saying, "Hello, beautiful Michelle."
How many Jinx shirts do
Hey.
you guys have? Like, you've got to have a lot of Jinx shirts. Everyone does, right?
I have a poop ton because Jinx did all of our merch for all of my shows.
Alex,
So I
did
have-
you say poop ton?
Yes, poop ton.
He's
It's metric. You might not know it. Yeah. Less
This
swearing.
podcast is rated
City
G.
metric system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a metric poop ton. No, but I have a poop ton because I have like Control All Chicken shirts. I have all the Totally Rad Show shirts, all the Dignation shirts, like every shirt for every show that I've done. Because we knew the Jinx guys because they did the stuff for Screensavers back before it became Attack of the Show. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Michelle, did I run into you recently on Halloween? Was that you? No.
No.
Tom, I love that you were like, did I run into you? It was like,
And
I
Brave did
should
it on a
remember that.
podcast as well, as she's our guest. Like, that was brave, and I commend you for it.
What?
I didn't hear that. But I went over to the house, right, to see my ex-wife, and there were a bunch of people there, and I'm like, I had to introduce myself, and they're like, Tom, we've met. And I swear it was like some podcast guest from the show. I guess it wasn't Michelle.
It was not me.
Phew,
but-
thank God.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
You,
I'm
whatever
so
Jen
excited to find
had,
out
you
who
weren't
that
invited
was.
to it. So.
I do now want to know who it was.
I just
Jen's
assumed
house.
it was somebody from the show. I can't remember. Anyways, I'm glad. Go on.
I'm taking liberty to kind of start. We did this last year. We were starting to out ourselves with how drunk we were out of 10. The wine's kind of hitting me hard. I said 6 out of 10, but Brad's asking me to sort of use proper reduced ratios, fractions. Fuck, I'm a 6 out of 10, everyone. If you want to do the same, go for it.
I will say that I'm a little bit good because I've had the pizza from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
Which gave me a base, and I've been drinking. Even though this is my 4th beer, I've been drinking beer. Which to me, if this was Jack Daniel's, I'd be out, or even wine, to be honest. So yeah, I'm probably a 3 out of 10, like Allie.
I'm with Allison too. Yeah, 3 out of 10.
I ate 6 slices of pizza. But I'm drinking wine. Usually, if I do spirits, I'm fine.
Wine.
It's wine.
I just keep refilling this wonderful Pizza Hut cup with White Claw.
Yeah, but White
I love
Claw's
how
like
Allison is
12%. 18%.
Allison is 3 of 10 drunk, but Maude is 3 of 5 drunk.
No.
So
I
14%. You're pushing 5%. I'm doing 14%.
I'm just gonna open the door for my dog. I'll be right back.
What's that a euphemism for? Gotta go open the door.
Good call, Tom.
Yeah.
Every 3 drinks you have is one of mine, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well.
yeah. See, Maude is double. It's double what you are. She's 3'5".
It's all good. It's all good. Michelle, this has been a very crazy time. You and I have spoken at length about sort of the difference between working in 2019 and then 2020 and now 2021. But how have you found it all? You've been working on some really, really cool sort of, I want to say, delinear kind of things where it's expanding on what we do, which is just sort of like hosting and content development, those sorts of things. But you have a hobby that you're really investing in. Is this a time to kind of chat about your hobby that you love? Because this is what we spent the majority of this year talking about.
Are you talking about our love for journaling?
Yes.
Okay. During the pandemic, there's like not a lot going on and we're just kind of chilling and sitting here. So I just started reading about the moon a lot and like the different moon phases that happen. And I just was like, I would always like set intentions on the new moon and then, you celebrate on the full moon. So I made my own little journal planner thing where I would schedule things around the moon phases just for fun. It basically goes with the regular month anyway. Like the new moon is usually at the beginning of the month and the full moon is usually in the middle. So you've kind of got this like project tracking thing where like you start a project and then you grow a project and you assess the project and then it gets the full moon and then you harvest the project and celebrate it. And I think what I was yearning is, we're so used to working and having like production set out and goals to hit and set. And for me, it just sort of allowed me to like kind of just have smaller cycles to try to just do other tasks around my house and just try to honestly just live a little bit more in touch with nature and feel like, you are appreciating the world you live in. So I wrote this for myself, and then I was like, well, I could learn how to publish a book and make one. So I made one, and
oh my God, congrats.
I'm like on the editing phase that like I need to like, I should have uploaded it a week ago, but I ended up like changing a bunch of shit and stuff. And
poop, as Alex would say.
Oh yeah, fuck that shit. We can say whatever you want. Come on.
You said you had a bunch of poo or something.
Yeah. A metric poop ton is actually
it's a shitty metric.
I feel like I've heard you say poop ton before, though.
I say it all the time, especially when I like things. A poop ton.
So anyway, I would ask Maude, because Maude also loves journaling and planners and stuff, and we would both kind of geek out about the process of like, do you like a weekly page versus a daily page, just stupid stuff like that. Cool. And so I made one, and I don't know, I'm gonna sell it on like Amazon. You should be able to buy it in like a week or something. I'm gonna put it out.
It?
Yeah, I have to do it before the beginning of the year. Like,
what's it called?
You guys, the first one is probably not going to be the greatest, but who knows? Maybe it will. I'm such a good salesperson for my product.
Do you have a title? Like, I want to know, is it called like, or have you not come up with the title?
I've just been calling it the Moon Planner. But
that's a great name.
Yeah.
You can get it on Morrow.
Look, I figured if it like sold somewhere and someone saw it, they're like, oh, a Moon Planner. Like, you kind of go, oh, what is this? Like, I don't know.
I think it's awesome.
It's just an art project. It's just something where I learned about self-publishing, and I learned how to use Adobe InDesign, and just want to do something fun, something outside.
Well, like to have a hobby that, I mean, we, as hosts in this space, we are a brand, and we essentially become a brand, and it's really kind of hard to not pursue things outside of said brand because it can detract, or we have to put so much investment into what we think we should be in that small little box. And so when it's like, when we're able to kind of do something that we do for us, like the individual, and that actually replenishes us, and it's like sustenance, that's so important, because it's not, I was going to say it's not work. This is essentially kind of work in a way, but it's so fulfilling.
You're right. It's different. I used to sell artwork. I think a couple of you guys know that. I used to sell this collage series called Recycled Rock, where I would take your album cover collection. Like back in the day, for all of us old people, we would have like actual like CDs and stuff, and they would just sit in a Case Logic like under people's beds and whatever. So I would take people's album covers and put them on a big collage, and I would sell them, and I did pretty well. I had one hanging at Billboard magazine in New York, and one Ryan Seacrest bought one, and like the Dave Matthews Band bought one. Like, it's a completely random part of my life, but I really enjoyed it. Like it was just fun, and there was no pressure from anybody, and it was just kind of creative, and everyone was happy. So I wanted to sort of reconnect to doing that, where it's kind of like part artwork and part something that was helping me get through the pandemic.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Michelle, you're like the coolest chick. I just want you to know Stephen Summers says that.
Yeah.
We tell my husband. We let him know.
Michelle, you are very
your
much
husband knows you're the coolest chick.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Michelle, you're very much like all my hair ties right now, because his hair is like down to here.
Because he has the most.
Last time I saw him, his hair was so long. I was like, dude, what's going on? And now it sounds like it's just continued.
Oh, okay, sorry. And like all this audio like was together and then caught up and all separated all at one time. It was wild.
Alex is hitting onto your husband. He's cracking onto him.
Oh, okay, totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say you're very much known in the geek and gaming space. You've not only voiced video game characters, you've hosted the BlizzCon. There it is.
Blizzard Awards.
I love the Blizzard Awards.
It's so funny how
Maude
Blizzard
is 3/5. Remember?
from my mind.
Yeah. I just
Maude's
love
a
it. Like,
3/5.
and best Blizzard of the year goes to Hampshire, February 2021.
Okay, I've already said that I'm the most drunk out of everyone. So all right. But this is obviously the time to switch on the consoles and start gaming. I saw your Switch in your hand.
Oh yeah.
What are you gaming at the moment? And what was your game of the year? And weigh in on the Game Awards and if you thought it was worthy.
Those are those are good questions. Well, I'm playing Pokemon right now on my Switch.
As you should be.
It's just Pokemon, you know, like it's the same game over and over and over. Like, but I'm okay. We're all okay with it, right? Like we're all okay with Pokemon just having like different names, but it's pretty much the same, right? Like it's the same game. But I love it. I love, you know, just going through it. So I've been playing that, and you know, we were really like top rating guild this year for World of Warcraft. Like my guild, we were like top 4,000, which is a pretty big thing, actually. Yeah, like globally speaking.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, we pulled it together. It was the big Sylvanas raid, so I was really excited to fight her. Her fight was cool. It was very pretty in the beginning of it, and you know, but her story has gotten so upsetting to me that I just can't. I have to like put it in, like Alex knows. I have to like put it in like a separate case. Like I can't even think about it because they've screwed her character up so much. But just like the teamwork rating gaming part of it, my team was awesome this year. We had a great time, and I'm taking time off right now just because it's a lot to like raid twice a week and to lead a raid twice a week and to like be in charge of your Discord and do like it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's a lot. So I'm just taking a little break right now, but I'm sure I'll play again. What I really want to watch, I want to get watch the do the Radiohead experience thing that came out on like PC and Alex and PS5. Oh, Epic Games put it out, Alex.
Dude.
Alex.
I saw the Matrix one, but I haven't had the Radiohead.
Yeah, Radiohead. Tom York does the whole like experimental like AR kind of. You'll love it. Like I haven't watched it yet. I was saving it for the holidays. It's like a whole
kid.
It hit me right in the demographic, you know, like right there. It was like, hey, Gen X woman, what up?
Right in the demographic.
By the way,
this stereotypes me so well.
You need to make that shirt. Oh, this hits me right in the demographic.
It's me in the demographic.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, Tim, I have no idea if 3 hours is long enough for me to get drunk to start crying, but time will tell.
It has to happen, Allison.
If you had some...
It has happened to every Drunksmas. It has happened every time. And if I've got to start telling you how cute your nephew is and what an inspiration, yeah, we'll get there. Okay, we're good. We're good, Tim. We're good.
I think if Allison had some Legos to put together, she'd start crying. Like,
I have so many Legos over there, y'all. I have so many Legos. Do not try me. It will happen.
Oh God. I've gotten really into playing. So first off, I'm very proud of myself. I just built myself a brand new gaming computer.
Oh yes, I saw you post about that, Alex. Tell us everything.
I was well. It's been so long since I built a computer like myself, you know what I mean? And like the last computer I had was a Doghouse Systems computer. Those guys are great. And it was really nice to just go, here's what I'd like, build it for me. But I started watching like all these like YouTube in the morning. I drink my coffee and I just randomly stumble through YouTube. And so I started watching like people building computers. And I just started going, wow, first off, it's a lot easier than it was back when I was a kid learning how to build a computer, but still has enough of a challenge into it, you know? And so I was like, you know, I'm going to try to get myself a new 30 series graphics card. Because I was like, they're so hard to get that I was like, I'll just wait. And if I can get one, then I'll start building my computer. So, and for my birthday was in August. And so I like had my parents, I was like, I want to build a computer, you know, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I was on Newegg and I got like a list of all the stuff. And I just happened to see that the new Intel chips were for sale on Newegg. And I had heard about the new 12th gen coming out, and I was like, oh. And I literally realized that the morning I was looking was November 5th, the day that they were released. And so I went, oh, okay. Wow. And I went to Newegg and I was like, I'll buy one. And it was like sold out. And so I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then because I was there, I just went, where do I buy a 12th gen Intel i9? And it was like, here's a place. I'd never heard of it. It's called like Ant something or other. And so I clicked on it and it was like, yeah, you can just buy one. So I bought it. And then they immediately sold out. So I was like, oh my God, that's great. So I got one coming. So then I bought all the other stuff. And I literally was like, okay, now I have to wait to find out how do I get a 30 series card. And I ended up just posting that I was like, I'm into it. I'm going to build this. I just need to wait until I get a card. And my buddy Jose, Don Fubar, he reached out. He just pinged me and was like, dude, I have a buddy that can get you one at MSRP. He like runs a company that builds computers. And I was like, yes. And so it showed up in the mail. And I was like, I guess I'm doing this. And I literally like went out into the garage. I set up a little table. I put, got all the pieces out, and I just started building it. And then it was really funny because my wife came out and I was like, look, I built it. And she was like, well, does it turn on? And I was like, well, I'm not turning it on. I was like,
why would you not turn it on?
Because at that point it was the Schrodinger's cat of built PCs. It both worked perfectly the first time and exploded. And I was like, I don't want to hit the power button and I have something to like go, oh, it didn't work. And then now I'm in troubleshooting mode. I was like, I'll turn it on tomorrow morning. And she goes, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I was like, oh, fuck, you're right. So I just went back, turned it on, and it booted right up. And she's been purring like a kitten ever since.
Yeah.
Your wife or the computer?
Yes, Tom. Yes.
What monitor do you have?
So I had already got a crazy monitor. I have the Alienware. I don't even know what the dimensions are, but it's the ultra wide.
The 38-inch? That's what I got.
Yeah, the 38-inch. Yeah, it's so great.
I love it. I had to get used
everywhere.
To it. Exactly. I had to get used to it because before I was like, I have to move like my.
When you play a game, when you go from a regular 16:9 monitor to the ultra wides, you have to take a moment because when you first boot up your first game, it's like you're playing VR.
Yes,
there's so much in your peripheral.
It's curved as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it really does feel like, oh shit, it wears off. Now it just feels like I'm playing video games on a computer. You know what I mean? But you're doing an Alienware giveaway tomorrow?
3 packs of these headphones, this mouse, and this keyboard. So if you need to get absolutely decked out for like
the old Alienware one. Yeah.
Yeah, Maude, you could just give those away to each of us right now instead of waiting until tomorrow. If it's a giveaway, what do you?
I shot the bed. Yeah, that's what I did not do.
Shut the bed.
Well, I
love those the Alienware keyboard, the mechanical keyboard, because it's not quite as loud. It has like a little softer bit about. I like it. I like the way it feels on the fingers. It's good shit.
Yeah. So I'm stoked that I can do that because it's like, I don't know, the amount that my audience has had to see me go through tech, like live tech shit, because I don't understand the PCs. I took 12 years off because of World of Warcraft. So I didn't have a PC from 2007 to 2019. So I had to relearn a language.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm trying to stream and things crash and I'm like, one second, guys. I was streaming Dragon Age Origins like 2 days ago. The game crashed halfway through it, had to change games. And I'm just like, So my whole chat is just support. And I've actually put them in a Discord before where they talk through troubleshooting.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
My community, I should do that.
What a great community.
Sam is literally on speed dial for these. Steven's like, more troubleshooting is a part of the fun. Isaac's helped me.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a known thing that it's rough for me.
It's really good. You should think about building your own PC because it's really nice because you can just kind of get your feeling for how everything fits together and what it all, you know what I mean? Like it's super fun. Plus it's just like super rewarding.
Ma, do you know Leslie from AMD?
Zelda sighting. leaving, Zelda got pizza.
Yeah, I had to.
She's
What
like,
did
you
you do?
son of a.
She
Son
ate it.
of
She was
a-
like, she saw you look at it, she swallowed it so fast.
Oh.
I have to bribe her to get up here. I gave her a bath. Nope, I gave her a bath today, and she's so fluffy now. Oh,
She's
she's
so
pretty.
cute.
Yeah.
She's such a cute dog. I love her.
I love her.
So
My
I
dog-
picked up Maude from the dog park one time because she lost her keys.
I lost my keys at this dog park, and it was like my one key is in somewhere in there, and it's just like this dirt pit. And I was like,
Amazing.
I don't know. I've done 6 laps. Like, I cannot find this thing. I just think I need to go home and cry. I was like, Michelle, can you pick me up? And she was like, yeah. I was like,
It was
"Thank
like
you."
right by my house. So I was like, yeah, no problem.
Amazing.
I think I had a
told you-
face mask on. I was like, hi.
Yeah, that was a bad day.
But I love her. She's just sitting there. I wanted to like hug her, but we're still in like kind of pandemic. And I was like, I
Yeah,
would love
yeah.
to hug your dog. Like,
She's
You
such
know?
a cutie. Oh, we went for that big walk as well.
yeah, she did good too. She had a
Pretty
5-mile
good.
walk. She a trooper.
She's a good cat.
Wow.
How's Gandalf doing, Allison?
I was just thinking, oh, right, I have a cat. When I saw the dog, I'm like, where's the cat?
You do. He's
I don't
super
know.
cute too.
You have a cute
It's
cat.
shocking that he hasn't like
He's a
been
handsome
right
boy.
here this whole time. I don't know where he is. I also just
Ask
ate one of the
me himself.
Cinnabons. Y'all, those
Cinnabon.
they're unreal.
Oh man, you know you got a reputation. Oh,
Ugh. Most odd thing I've ever heard.
I'm
Wait,
I'm
what's
supposed
another
to go for.
Cinnabons?
I have
Oh, sorry, Michelle. Where's the box?
Oh yeah. They sent us all the pizzas and things.
We got sent triple threat boxes from Pizza Hut, which was 2 pizzas,
Triple
breadsticks,
treat.
and Cinnabons for
I
dessert.
want
All the
breadsticks.
pizzas.
Yeah.
Where do I
This
get
is-
breadsticks?
You will be getting a code. Don't worry. You will get your own code for some
I
Pizza
want
Hut.
breadsticks.
I want breads. I love Pizza Hut breadsticks.
I have questions.
Yeah,
about
they're
it.
I
really
was
good.
just talking about. So when they showed up, I was like, I never buy the breadsticks. I always buy the pizzas, but I never think to buy the breadsticks. But I
Yeah,
freaking love them.
always.
And for me, Pizza Hut is like the Wayback Machine because some of you are probably not old enough, but back in the day, Pizza Hut used to have all you can eat pizza buffet lunches.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
And I
Bring
would
that back.
skip, I would like pop out of school and go down to Pizza
Oh,
Hut.
that is
And for like
cool.
$7.99, you could have all you could eat pizza buffets. And I would
I
always,
remember that.
oh my God, I would just hoovered so much pizza. It was so
Well,
great.
Pizza
And they
Hut.
also had the what was it called? Oh my god, sorry, I've had multiple White Claws. I have a shirt that says it, and I posted it on Instagram recently. The like reading book club. What was it called?
The reading
was-
book club?
Oh yeah,
Book
we were
It.
commenting on
Book
it.
It. They had Book It. Don't you remember Book It?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, did you guys not have Book? Okay, so Book It. Oh, Book It was amazing. When I was like, I don't know, maybe in 2nd grade. Book It. See, there we go. When I was in 2nd grade, it used to be if you read a book a week, you got a sticker each week,
Yes,
a Pizza
remember
Hut
that.
sticker.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had it in Australia.
Yes, and if you got all 4 stickers for the month, you got to bring your little card in to Pizza Hut with all 4 stickers, and you got a free personal pan pizza.
Yep.
So it was like
Wow.
the greatest thing. You read your books, and you brought your little card home to your parents, and you're like, Mom and Dad, you have to take me to Pizza Hut because I get a free pizza. And then you go to Pizza Hut and get your free Pizza Hut pizza, and then you play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah.
on the arcade machine because all the Pizza Huts had them, and they were the best thing. And you always play Michelangelo, and you make your brother play Donatello, and then you have the best night of your life.
Whoa.
He makes
Yeah,
it
go
Yeah.
on.
Donatello.
Very
Donatello.
good
Dang
nostalgia
it,
trip.
Donatello.
Donatello was
Yeah.
the best
Wow.
because he had the
Here's the bow staff.
throw staff. I'm like the really long stick. So he had a longer arm reach.
Mhm.
Pep.
Hey,
Just-
I've
just
had a
stick to
theory
my
about
sister.
this. Like, if we were
I
to
know.
modernize, I know it was like a big staple of our childhood, and I could probably piss off someone by saying this, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
Uh-oh.
If you really go through the lore and you look at all of these 4 characters, Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello,
Raphael.
Oh,
Raphael,
good.
Raphael, without fail, Donatello's gay.
Explain.
Donatello, if any of them, Donny is gay.
He's the leader.
No, that's Leonardo.
Leonardo's Leonardo.
I should know that. I've written for Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon.
Donatello could easily
breadstick.
Listen.
Why is he gay? What?
Oh, because he would be perfect. He'd be such a great gay turtle, mutated ninja turtle. I think he'd be gay.
I'd love to know the qualifications for what would make a great gay turtle.
He looks like a pancake.
Allison, why is he such a chunk?
He's a chunker, man.
I don't remember him being a chunk.
I know. Because I think everyone knows the story, but my neighbor saved his life because this cat had been hit by a car, and my neighbor ran into oncoming traffic and scooped up this cat. And so, we think he was a stray, living on the streets. And so I think he was malnourished when I got him. So he wasn't this big, but now that he's eating well for 8 months, he's taken on his true form.
Right.
He's just so
He's
much
big. Oh my god,
he's big.
I can't wait to meet him and snuggle him.
How
is he?
When I first got this cat, because my neighbor saved him, and then my neighbor couldn't take him because he lives in a no pet building, and he's also allergic to cats. So he was like, "Will you take this cat?" And I was like, "How do you say no to that? He saved this cat's life. The cat needs a home. Yes, I will take in this cat." And at first, this guy was living in my home, and we were like, "Okay, I guess we'll figure it out. You live here, I live here. We're gonna be friends." And now he's like my fluffy baby butt.
I think he's got quite a squat face. I don't actually think he's really, really fat. I just think he's got the shape of the cat's face. It's just a little, it's a hamburger face. So if we could not fat shame Gandalf the Grey, that would be great.
He's Gandalf the White, Maude. He's Gandalf the White.
Well, he's very grey.
I know, but he fought the Balrog and died. But the universe
he ate the Balrog.
It's not your time yet. So he's Gandalf the White.
I think he ate the Balrog.
That cat looks so humiliated right now.
Oh, what?
Allison's cat greater than Maude's dog.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, that's a serious. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
it is a pretty cute cat.
He is a very
that cat is super nourished.
Yeah.
Fight. Let's put him in a ring and have him fight.
Yeah. Allison, I don't know if you even saw this, but
I know, Michelle. I was going to ask you about the new cat.
Can we
this
see?
is something I wanted to talk about while you were on the show. Was naming this cat.
What?
Yes.
That's cute.
Is the cat's name officially Neptune?
Yeah.
Oh man, so Zeus and Neptune.
Super. It looks so fluffy, that thing. It looks like an Ewok. Yeah. Look at that.
Hey, that does look like an Ewok.
Yeah. Cute.
Okay, well, Michelle's cat is better than my dog, better than Allison's
You guys
cat.
want to see my baby? Right here.
Oh my god.
Bullock.
Yes.
Wait.
Oh my gosh, Michelle, I forgot we had to have you talk about something very important while you were on. I've had many White Claws. Will you please tell people about your Twitter drama that's going on right now?
Yes. And we'll have to wrap this up. We do have our next guest is here as well. So
okay, yes. Michelle, give us all a good PSA about Twitter, and then
guys, here's what you need to do. Everyone set up 2-factor authentication, because if you don't, someone's going to hack into your account and do it for you, and then you can't get into it over the holidays and the Game Awards and stuff that you might want to comment on. So just don't
do that right now. Okay.
So yes,
does it say
up,
what
guys.
email it goes to, or what the do you get?
So what happened was I logged in on Sunday evening. I did the yard work, and then I logged in, and I was logged out of Twitter on all of my devices, and I was like, that's weird. And I tried to log in, and it's like, oh, set it up with this code generator that you have, or enter your backup code. I'm like, don't know what that means. So I guess somebody logged into it. And I guess this is happening a lot to verified accounts, apparently, but people are logging in and then DMing and asking for money and stuff from people. So if I am DMing you, asking you anything, I am not logged in. I am eating popcorn and drinking wine and playing with a kitten, and I am not on Twitter. So if you are getting anything from me, let me know and report it immediately, because I won't be DMing you. So, and then Twitter responded, and they're like, they said, we got your report and we'll get back to you in days. not 3 days, not 17 days, just days. And so I've been reporting it, and all my friends have been reporting it and stuff. So if you guys can report it, please do, and just be like, this bitch is hacked. And I would appreciate it. And then I can get my account back.
This bitch is hacked.
This bitch
Is
is
it
hacked.
kind of nice not having Twitter though?
Fine. It's fine. Honestly, it probably just like curbed me from, having opinions on the Game Awards, which I shouldn't have anyway online. So probably okay. I did see 4,000 advertisements though. I don't know if anyone else did.
Amazing.
Yeah. We have thoughts.
But yeah, it was but I did enjoy the Game Awards. I just couldn't it was weird to just like not be a part of, like, I could care less about being on Twitter, to be honest. Like, it's probably a great vacation for me. But it is kind of odd, at where we're at in society, to like not be able to participate in something like that. And you kind of go, okay, well, I remember that this is what makes social media platforms a good thing. Like, you can connect with your community and discuss topics and be connected. But you should 99% of the time it's trash. But that 1%, I totally missed out on last night.
Yeah, I hear on that. What was your game of the year? And I have a pizza question after as a final question.
Well, I don't know. Game of the year. That's hard because I don't feel like I'm gonna be like, I don't feel like I played enough various games to have an educated opinion on that. I really did we really did focus on competitive rating with Warcraft, and that does take a lot of your time. So the titles that I played on the side of that were Animal Crossing and basic stuff. Metroid was actually really great. That probably deserved some ups, but I didn't play the Game of the Year winner. But I enjoyed the show a lot. I thought it was awesome. It's nice to see how big it's become. I remember when it was the Spike Video Game Awards,
Yeah.
So it's cool to see how far it's come. And, I worked with Keeley. I love him. I thought he did a great job. But it was weird to not be having, conversations with people about it. I was just yelling to my husband, and he was like, what?
Yeah. You don't understand. Yeah.
What did win the game of the year? I didn't even watch.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two.
That's so funny. So my wife, so most of you guys know my wife, not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination. She has become addicted to Candy Crush. That's as non-gamer as you can possibly be. But all of a sudden one day she was like, hey, we should play It Takes Two. And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, it's on Game Pass. And I was like, what are these words that you're saying to me? None of them you should know. What? And then she was like, yeah, I was listening to some radio program, and they were talking about It Takes Two, and I hadn't played it. I haven't yet played it. But I got the Game Pass, downloaded it onto the Xbox, and now I'm just waiting for a time when we actually sit down and play it.
When the guy won, he
lost his shit.
He ripped off his mask, and he's like, yeah, it was
That's amazing.
I was excited for him,
Apparently he'd won in a previous year, and he went on a massive rant, grabs the mic off Keeley and starts going on this tangent. And you can see Keeley, as a professional, trying to bring it back and trying to get it, on track again. And this guy's starting to rip the Oscars apart. He's having his own moment.
Oh no!
And so when he won, people were like, "Are we going to see a round two?" But he was a lot more contained, and it was just it's so awesome to see how stoked they are to win. So I feel you have to be contained.
It was infectious. You were like, "Aw, good for him." But can I just say before I go, the game I did play this year that was awesome. It was $5 on Steam. It's called Pony Island. It is such a cool little game. I think it's a little bit older, but it came to me as a suggestion from my friend Jesse Cox, who was like, this is so your game. You will love this. And it's you're playing this old school arcade game as this horse, unicorn guy. It's a side scroller, and then it just evolves. You end up inside of the game, and the soul of the developer is trapped inside of the game. And you solve all these little puzzles to get out, and it is so cool. And your character gets all these little abilities as you go. Like the unicorn turns like a dark unicorn. It, like you have to. It's such a cool concept. It's only like $5. I just like could not recommend it more. Just because it's just such a little cute, cool, fascinating.
I mean, I'm a sucker for any game that involves little puzzles, so I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, you'll like this. I think you'll like it. I think it's your vibe in general, Allison. I think you'll like it.
All right, cool.
But you need a PC, I think. I don't think it's on like Switch.
Oh, I got a PC, girl.
Okay, I'm just letting you know where you can find it. Okay.
Allison, up a digit in the drunk meter. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I update.
Guys, I'm
update.
drunk, and I'm never drunk. Like, how many times collectively have all of you seen me even drunk at all? Like, I'm not.
Very few. Very few.
That's because I love you, and most of the time it's been on drunkenness. So
drink to that. Michelle Morrow, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me, guys. See all of you very soon.
Good seeing you, lady.
Soon, babe.
Bye, guys.
And with that, let's check in to see how it's going.
I'm gonna be gone 10 seconds, Maude. You do not have to take my camera off. I'm literally gonna go there and grab a.
She's already out.
Oh, she's gone. You got her.
Getting it happening. Alrighty, we are still at the exact same amount, which means we've had a half-hour pause on donations. I know we're settling in for the evening, but we didn't have a goddamn one trickle through just then. We're getting you back into this. Best believe. I know. I'm quick around here. I'm quick like lightning. And then, Christ, here we go. I've got to add the next one, which is the extra life. Same amount again.
Oh my god!
We've only just beat the halfway mark for this one, so we need to
go, guys.
Another $485, which we can do in the last 36 minutes. Surely,
I believe in a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of your donating wallets.
Love that one. 485. Will you help with the extra life? And we need another 240. $4.99.
So overall, we around like $650 or something like that total. We need donated.
We got it.
Minutes. Now, this is when things count. If you donate $40 or more, we will fortify. We will drink. You can't $20 and get a $20 Pizza Hut gift code and a fortify.
Hold on. Let me do a quick. Okay.
These fortifies, I mean, we're seeing the bottom of the bottles here. So these fortifies are double. All right.
I also believe that everyone who's donated twice, I'm pretty sure I can get you double codes.
I think so too.
Okay.
So I feel relatively confident to say that if you donate at least $40 now, I will give you 2 Pizza Hut codes. We're upping the ante. Also, the more drunk I get, the more difficult it is to copy and paste these types of numbers into emails. So it might take me a little longer, but I'm getting there.
When we were reading out donations, we read 3 fortifies in a row, and I put a pin in this one to drop at an appropriate time. Ken Storms, thank you so much for the fortify.
Great.
Allison, 610 of 3/5.
Black girl code and or extra life.
I want to do 6/10, but then Maude got called out for not making it the like.
Oh no, we didn't reduce the rate, the fractions.
What's 3/5?
We've got another guest.
We do. Our final guest of the evening, but maybe our most special guest of the evening. Because if you've listened to the half-hour happy hour at all, you will know that we can't do this show without our podcast, Aristotle.
Hello.
There
hey, everybody.
Last time
Christmas cactus.
Christmas cactus, yes. Thank you.
I was going to say, last time we saw you on this show, I think you had one plant in the background, and now I see multiple plants. So have you officially become a plant?
I have this plant, and it doesn't look like this. What are you doing?
Wait, with this one or this one?
That one.
This one?
Yeah.
Well, this one I inherited, so I've kept it alive. There's that.
Oh.
This one is pretty new, except for this new little growth right here.
Ooh, new growth. New growth.
New growth.
Is that a rubber plant?
This is a Monstera. $15 at Trader Joe's. This one is no, it's something else because I have a rubber plant downstairs.
And There's two different ones. This is actually a thicker leaf, a Dracania. What is it called?
I think this is a Dracania.
Yeah. This is
Dracania Malfoy.
This
I
I'm so
turned 30
proud of
and I
this
fucking
Christmas
love this
cactus,
shit.
though.
Actually, it might be a corn plant or a Dracania.
I have grown corn.
I think it's a
and
corn
it was not
plant.
this.
Because
But
the Dracania's got a thinner leaf, and this one's actually got a good girth on it. So you've got a corn plant.
oh yeah.
And I have to upgrade my app to tell you how to treat that one.
Upgrade
Partial
my
sun.
app.
Podcast, you've grown corn in your apartment?
Oh,
You said you've grown corn.
I've grown corn. Yes.
Is it just corn, or are we confessing something here?
It's on my balcony. Yes, I grew corn on my balcony.
Get the hell out! What?
I didn't grow it well that they came out like that big, and so I didn't eat them, but I grew them.
You are a just for men beard model. Look at that. That is a pretty perfect beard.
Thank you. No,
Definitely a beard.
Evenly colored. Looks good.
It's no,
it's perfect. It's great.
There's gaps.
Yeah. Well, gaps of what? You don't have any gray in there, like I do.
Look at this podcast.
Yeah.
Everybody loves podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah.
I still have my. I feel like I've brought it up before, but I have my the cat clock still hanging in my room.
You do.
That's so cool.
And just to go back to the Fortify, I've had 2 beers in. I've got mine ready here, but I'm gonna let everyone else decide which I should go with. I've got straight out of quarantine from Paperback Brewery in Glendale, and it's a West Coast IPA, or One Night with Nora, also from Paperback, and it's a blonde ale.
Yeah, Nora.
Give it to Nora.
Yeah.
Nora it is.
Yeah,
Nora,
that's
that's
AF.
Nora needs some podcat in her life. She wants to be.
And to jump into the pet stuff while we're there, though not quite my pet, I've got this.
Oh my god!
Hi, cutie.
Oh,
What is that?
What's their
I
name?
love how his little
She doesn't quite have a name, and so has adopted the name of Baby Girl.
baby girl.
I'm kind of fostering this lost dog, and we've kind of fallen in love, but I'm also like, well, maybe I'll find you a home.
Oh my god, how old do you think?
Can we name her?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
How if someone makes a certain donation, they can throw in a name possibility.
I'll take that.
How'd you get the dog?
Yeah.
You found it? It's a lost dog?
My cousin found her, took her to look for a chip, tried Facebook and Nextdoor, and nothing so far. And then my cousin was like, "You'll take care of her." I was like,
Like how I got my cat.
You'll take
Aristotle,
care of
that's
her.
your dog. That's how I got my cat.
She's so cute. Oh, I kind of want her.
I know. She's
Oh, shit. Douglas Sharp dropping another donation.
Oh.
Douglas, VIP viewer.
boy,
What
Douglas.
$40.
$40.
Bye.
Fortifying.
That's pretty sweet.
$40 for a
Dougie.
Fortify.
So Aristotle, I have a very important question for you.
yes.
How much do you miss us?
A whole bunch all the time. I was just thinking about Comic-Con the other day because to bring out these Christmas decorations, I had to move this big pile of cables that was sitting on top of them. And when I moved them, I was like, oh yeah, I probably should have returned these, but these are the big old speaker cables I got for the last live show we did at Comic-Con.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
That was a while ago.
Yes.
Okay,
Honey, you got
So,
$150 behind that. We'll call the dog Pod Dog.
Pod
Pod
dog.
dog. Pod dog. That's right, Podcat. Pod dog.
Oh, you guys, we're getting so close. Do math, Allison. We need $400 more dollars in 30 minutes.
$100 for Black Girls Code, $400 for Extra Life. So that's a $500 total that we do need. We can do $500 in. We're not stopping until we get there.
Oh, was that $500? I didn't do math right.
So we need an extra $100 for Black Girls Code, and we need an extra $400 for Extra Life, bringing us to $500 all up. Actually, Allison, go up a point for drinking. I'll go down one.
I like that dog.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
the math girl.
Nope, I'm definitely getting there,
Oh
y'all.
my god, she's adorable.
She is. We got to get a name, though.
You mean me, Tom, right?
Huh?
I'm not entirely sure how this person pronounces their name, and I don't want to say anything wrong, but I'm going to add it as a banner.
Oh.
They've donated $40, saying, great to see and hear you all. Happy Drunksmas, everyone.
Cheers, thanks, man. Look at that. Look at that.
$40 for a 4 to 5.
Hike spike.
Hike spike is what I think.
Hike spike. Hike spike.
Good. Hike spike.
Football tournament.
Is it? Good.
I just got their email too. Yeah.
I also meant to send you pictures, and I haven't yet, but I was also thinking about the good times of previous Drunksmasses because
you got a highlight reel for us?
I mean, I wish, but
you can bring in like the soft music. It's like do 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 do. Yeah. It's just me crying over and over again.
But the Starburns offices are moving, and so those rooms are empty.
Oh.
Damn. Lots of good time.
The old bar room. Where are they going to? You don't have to, not specifically, but are they going down the street?
Yeah, like just a few blocks away. Okay. New office there.
Wow, cool, man.
That's cool.
I think we have an anonymous donation that's trying to do pie, but they did $1.41. So I don't know if Allison, this is going back to your conversation where it's
maybe
like
30-ish
number. Yeah.
40-ish.
It's $31.41 from Anonymous.
I love that. But also I would like to do a shout out to Alex's wife who just chimed in the comments saying we should adopt that dog, Alex.
He is available. You could. She's very good.
We're good. Thank you,
Heather. Heather.
I love it.
Hi, Heather.
I love that when she comes in. She's like, wait, there's a free dog in your stream? This is crazy.
I'm paying for vaccinations and everything.
Amazing. Wait, so go back to the story. So your cousin found it?
Yeah. And that's kind of the whole thing is dumped her on me. And I was like, no, I can't. This is the worst time. And then she's just actually just very good and very, very clingy. Is constantly sitting on my lap while I work here.
That's awesome.
Oh God, no wonder Heather wants her. She's like, yeah, do we need another clingy dog? Oh God, I got this thing and I put medical things in it for my beers, and the condensation screwed up our power bill. So I was thinking, let's figure that out.
What do you need power for, Alex?
What do I need power for? I got a power wall. It pays for itself. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
I do want to say really quickly though, because like Seb earlier donated $100.01, trying to donate $101, right? But did the $100.01, and then donated $29.99, trying to donate $30 to rectify the number. And by donating $29.99, it was going to take the total to $900 clean, which it did. Until Anonymous with the $31.41 donated straight up.
Amazing.
Absolutely disrupt that system. So yay, everyone. We're up to $625 on the Extra Life page. Oh my goodness. Pablo Cat, David Pick, Cleveland Punk, Drew, Edward Rosa, and Disco Cobra saying thank you for the thankful for you guys. Cool stream. Love the combos. Keep up the good work. So we are currently on $625 for Extra Life.
Awesome.
Wait, boom. Extra Life happening. 70. What?
That jumped quite a bit.
That just happened. Ken again. Let's catch this one up.
Y'all are amazing.
Oh my gosh. Ken again. Wow.
I need to edit this because it's now $150, but holy dooly.
Fantastic.
We got to fortify.
Fortify.
Got to get Allison.
Oh God, and then 100.
Wow,
yeah, baby.
Listen, y'all, I still got 6 more White Claws in there. I can go all night. Let's do this.
I was planning on finishing the bottle, so
good.
I've got 5 more beers left.
Yeah. I'm still slowly getting through all the emails.
How we're feeling. And then, so we just need, if it's $931.41, we need $68.69.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, it's almost 69.69. That's amazing.
68.
Wait, somebody take $1 back. Somebody take $1 back. 69. Come on.
Seb did the math. Seb did the math. We were wrong.
Do 69. Oh, maybe that's why they did it, so that it would only be 69 left.
No, it's not. Seb did the math. It's 68.59.
68.
Somebody give us.
I sort of trust Seb in the chat, who's probably not as drunk as us on the screen.
Trying to calculate live.
Amazing.
68.59. Almost. Yeah. Someone donate 69.69.
Yeah. God damn it.
Donate if you know what's good for you. If you laugh every time someone says anything with any sort of innuendo, cough up now. Put your money where your dirty little mind is. That's it.
Where'd you find it? Innuendo.
Oh, we're getting more emails. I love this, y'all. Oh, wait. I want to do a shout out to the person whose email. This person's name is Allison. Already has a spot in my heart, but she spells her name.
Checked out.
She spells her name ALICYN.
Oh, I have
never seen the spelling of Allison like that before, and I appreciate it so much.
Allison.
No, I know like one or two of those Allison.
Shut up, Tom. No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Kenneth White, $25 over at the Extra Life page.
Woo!
Nice.
So we're getting closer. Extra Life is now on 800.
Woo!
Whereas Black Girl Codes is on 931.41. Who's gonna donate? 69.
I don't know if she's still here, but I also want to specifically shout out Tatiana, who donated earlier.
Yeah.
I met her yesterday in person.
Where? Just
a while. At a concert.
Oh, cool.
Wait. Like randomly or
kind of random? She was with a friend that I knew, so when I saw her, we were talking, and then Tatiana was like, "Hey, so I actually know you from Half Hour Happy Hour."
I think your podcast.
That's so cool. Yeah,
she
just comes to a lot of our live events. She's very cool.
Adventure in Life. We need it over. We'll put it in
Black
Twitch.
Girl Code.
But if you go over to Black Girls Code,
check that it's still at that. Because if we've already hit it at Black Girls Code, let's send it to Extra Life.
Oh, we did.
Did we hit Black Girls Code?
Black Girls Code's done.
Show us. Come on, show us.
You sneaky bugger. 69.69.
Bugger.
Yeah.
What? 69.69. We did it.
That's awesome.
Now that brings
Thank
the total
you.
to 101 and 10. Black Girl Code.
Yay.
We our $1,000, which means Pizza Hut will be matching that $1,000. So all the amazing work you put in has been instantly doubled. And if you donated over $20, Alice, and you've emailed your receipt to halfhourhappyhourfans@gmail.com, Allison will be spending the remainder of the evening and then some change, making sure that you get your Pizza Hut code for $20 that you can use towards your next order. Oh,
just make sure you're forwarding the emails. Yeah, make sure you're emailing. Yay, Brad. Make sure you're forwarding your donation emails to halfhourhappyhourfans@gmail.com. Cheers to all of you. Also, please still donate to Black Girls Code. We just also want to hit it over at Extra Life. But don't
get Extra Life first so that we can get Pizza Hut to drop another $1,000 for this charity.
Yeah.
So I'll do a
Okay,
little.
so how are we doing over there?
800.
800 even.
Okay.
800.
I'll do a little refresher. Let's have a look, skis. It's still 800. Right. But let's shout out to, Ken, who worked magic donations. Ken, top donation for 150 that we just got. Kenneth Weiss was the last one at 8:36. That was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Ken, that's a massive amount. I'd say, since we're donating books, I guess I could donate a book, but I feel bad since I should give Ken one anyways for $150. But if someone were to maybe match that,
okay. So you'll give
by me and the other writer, my writing partner Jennifer.
So wait, you'll give Ken one, and you'll give someone else who does another $150.
Ken has actually hit $200 in donations this evening.
Okay. Ken's definitely getting one. Tom, I will forward you Ken's email.
All right.
But also anyone who matches $150 after the
Seb is on
130.
130. Seb
What?
has donated $130 total.
Oh boy. Okay.
So Seb's been doing really, really.
I'm actually literally in the middle of emailing Seb right now, and I'm already going to give him 2 codes. So
Nice. Look at this guy. He's making
Is
out
that
like
for, is that for America only? Did we figure out if it was America only?
the pizza codes.
I haven't figured that out. I know that Daniel, our fan in Poland, he did email me about that. So I haven't responded to that yet. Daniel, I think I'm going to send you a code anyway, because like maybe it works over there. And if it doesn't, you know, you can gift it to someone else in the States. How about that?
There you
But
go.
I will email you back.
That's cool.
That's fantastic that we've done that one. Hey, Podcat, you
Yes.
order a pizza. You
I
can have
did get a
anything.
pizza. I got a pizza to prep for this. I'm eating it now.
Yeah.
What is your favorite type of pizza?
I've been watching everyone's answers. My favorite pizza right here in Los Angeles, Masa in Echo Park, the deep dish.
It's so good. It's the best pizza
You're a
around.
good teacher as
Masa
well.
is fantastic. After Pizza Hut. It's pretty good.
Normally I would not. Yeah, normally I would not get a deep dish, but Masa's vegan. Letting everyone know I'm vegan.
Yeah.
Vegan deep dish in Echo Park.
Yeah, their crust is the dough is so tasty. It's such a good pizza. Yeah, Masa's great. After Pizza Hut.
After Pizza Hut, of course.
Love my Pizza
But
Hut.
also,
if you're local.
a warning: you gotta. It takes 45 minutes to make the pizza, so
Yeah,
order ahead of time or be prepared to wait.
I went there on Valentine's Day this year, and we ordered like way ahead of time. It took about 3 or 4 hours, and we had to go and get in this massive line. But it's totally worth it. Oh yeah. And they were super cool about it too. They were very appreciative that we were all in line waiting for their pizza. Very cool place. Yeah. Awesome.
This was from a while ago when we were reading through donations and we didn't get to do it, but it's been a second. So we're gonna. Chris donated and said Fortify, but it was the third back-to-back, so I put a pin in it until
Until
we
right then.
we might have some more Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut was so good.
I've got a whole pizza behind me.
Oh, I have so much, and I haven't had any of the cinnamon sweet things. Maybe I'll do that right now.
Oh, I'll be eating Pizza Hut for the rest of the weekend.
I'll be eating the rest of mine tonight. Like I had half a pizza already.
Eating goddamn pizza. And I'm okay with it, I guess.
No, it's so good. I'm very, very
Here's
happy.
one I prepared earlier.
Pizza Hut. Fun fact: Pizza Hut was my first job.
What?
Right out of high school.
Really?
Fun.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun. I actually still miss it sometimes. Like, man, it was so. It was just so many shenanigans.
How much pizza did you eat at Pizza Hut when you're working there? Like, did you guys make stuff in the back room, just eat it, or like, do they give you rules for that kind of thing?
I feel like I cannot disclose that kind of information.
It was back in the day. They're cool.
Oh, clean, fun, but that's like, I don't know. I don't remember what the rules are, but good time.
Okay.
Good place.
Okay, this is really funny, guys. Okay. What's happened is, we did it.
What?
We did it.
$1,006.
Darren! Yes! Darren's run the Primer Donation Award. Okay,
What?
let me break
twice?
this down for everyone.
Oh,
Anonymous donated $31, so that someone would have to donate $69 to reach the total. Darren jumped in with $150. Darren, make yourself known in the comments, please.
Okay, yeah.
And then Nerd is the New Cool dropped to $25, which meant we hit $1,006.
Oh my
Probably
gosh!
the turtle
Wow.
and the tortoise and the hare. This one was like running behind the entire time, but I ended up getting $5 more than Black Girl's Code. We have done it. We raised this money. What?
We still got 14 minutes. So keep donating if you can.
Wow.
We still got 14 minutes. We're gonna sit here. I'm gonna email people codes.
I just had to spin a bonbon and a bonbon.
Yo, I'm really proud of us. I'm really proud of like everyone on the screen and everyone who's watching.
$2,000. I mean, that's like $2,000, over $2,000 clean that we raised for charity.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Which
That's
meant
awesome.
it became $4,000 like
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
We all we had to do was do 2, and now they're going to match it. And anyone who donated over $20 is going to get a $20
Pizza voucher.
Pizza Hut code to spend on their pizza.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
And
Thank you to
we
everyone who
assigned-
donated.
Allison would make
Also-
someone want to cry, you'd think, you know?
The pizza's so good too.
Nice,
It would
Maude.
make a normal person just want to weep.
Will you be sharing that pizza with your nephew?
Mm.
Okay,
My nephew's the cutest.
I know the feeling well.
He's
My
so
nep-
funny. Oh, what? Your nephew's like the same age as mine, right?
He just started walking like a week ago.
Yeah,
What a sight.
I know. So I saw my nephew back in June for his first birthday, and then I went almost 6 months without seeing him, and just saw him for Thanksgiving. And when I finally saw him, I was like, "Hi, Simon," and he like stopped and he looked at me and he was like, "I am unsure about this human being."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Just love me."
Yeah, that's happened to me, but I also remember being that kid being like, I haven't seen this cousin in a few years. I don't
Yeah.
know if we're still cool like we were that one time.
Yeah, like.
And it has to warm up.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Thank you, Ken. MVP, thank you so much,
Need-
Ken. Darren, are you in
Yeah.
the comments? Make yourself known on YouTube or Twitch. We'd love to hear from you so we could personally thank you. We also
Or
need
if
to get your-
Darren forwards his email, I can just pass that on to Tom as well.
we need to get your
Yeah.
details. Yeah, because you have one. Primer, Tom, go. Fuck.
Primer, DC Comics newest superhero by myself,
yeah.
and Jennifer Morrow, and Gridlewski. Soon to be a major motion picture.
Oh.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Does DC do that kind of thing with their superheroes? I don't know. Maybe they do. Never seen a DC movie. They make them?
I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, congrats on all the canonization
Yeah,
of your
Thanks,
lovely
man.
character.
Yeah,
Wow.
for those that don't know, they put Primer inside a Teen Titans Academy comic book this past month, making her officially like a DC superhero, because people would often ask us if she was a legit superhero or existed outside the DC continuity, and now she really is. And there's a lot more Primer stuff we're doing that is coming. So,
Darren, was that you? This comment right here, Darren, is that you that gave us our final 150 donation?
That cheeky
Darren J.
shark
Seeley.
emoji?
Good night, all. Good night,
Darren,
Darren.
was that
Thank
with
you.
that bomb drop that you absolutely pushed us over the winning finishing line?
That's a big
The winning
move.
finishing
Yeah.
The winning finishing line is
Not the losing
What I
finishing
said.
line.
this one.
Winning
What I
finishing
said.
line.
Stand by it. I have a hungry dog.
Amazing.
Good.
There we go. There
Do we
we
have to
go.
drink for 10 more minutes? Fuck.
Fuck.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Look
look
at
at
the
those
young we were.
lovely people.
Look at this little cherubic face of Alex.
I think I have the
Cherubic.
exact. Look, I have the same one.
Wait, how many
the
years
one
ago
right
was
there.
this?
Oh my God,
Look
the
at
shit
these
I had to go
two.
through to get that thing made.
This is at a Pizza Hut thing, right? At Comic
Yeah,
Con.
this was
was
at the
a
Pizza
Pizza
Hut
Hut.
event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this question. Tom,
Ooh.
Ooh.
What? Oh,
What
what
actress?
actors? Oh my gosh, I want to play. Oh my god, very good question. We've been talking about that actually lately.
Oh.
So, who would I want to play Primer? Gosh, there's this girl on Stranger Things, the redhead
Oh, Alex.
friend. I think is that her name. Yeah, because
he was in the Taylor Swift video.
Mhm.
Was she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
Yeah, I
played
mean-
one
Played like the
Taylor.
tomboy skateboard with
Sadie
his brother was
something?
the.
Yeah, is that it? Yes, I think it is.
Sadie
Yeah.
Sink.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me who you'd want who you'd want to play Primer, because we could use some suggestions. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe Allison, if she were to make herself look a little short,
Yeah.
Look a
Little-
little
what are you gonna
what,
say,
Tom?
little more redheaded.
Look a little
not
what,
younger.
Tom?
Primer is a
little
13-year-old
what?
girl, Allison. So I can say a little younger. to
I
you.
don't know what you're talking
You don't
about.
look 13. No offense, but also I'm glad you don't look 13.
Hey,
Yeah.
she's got range.
She does.
Hold
have
on.
By
range.
the way,
Sadie
I'm
Sink?
also glad I don't look 13.
Yeah.
Countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sadie Sink.
There she is.
Primer.
Yeah, that is kind of the perfect primer.
Like a lot like that. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Side note though.
That's good casting.
Right. No,
that's really good casting. Yeah. Like that. Oh, I like that.
Thanks for asking, Hero Pat.
Oh, wait. Darren says no. This isn't the Darren that donated 150.
Get out of here, Darren.
Sorry.
I still don't have an email from Darren.
Sorry, Maude, it wasn't me.
But still, we appreciate it.
Wait.
Darren J. Seeley.
Oh, Allison.
Nah.
Wouldn't it be so cute?
Am I related to Hero Pat for asking all these primer questions? Is that secretly my mom?
You guys, when I was home for Thanksgiving, he had a cold and was just like the snottiest baby. And I was like, you're so disgusting and yet so cute.
Yeah. All babies are super cute no matter what.
So my nephew, so I have this little nephew named Leo, and he's just like this little dude. Like I think he's like 3, 4. So cute, just like the most adorable. But the really crazy thing is because my wife loves like little babies, especially little like boy babies that are just like little dolls, you know what I mean? And I went down there and Heather couldn't come, and he comes around the corner and he sees me and he's like got this look on his face, and then he walks up and he just goes, "Where's Heather?" And I was like, "Oh, Leo, she's not coming. She can't get in." He was like, "Okay," and then he walked away. Yeah, and I told Heather, and she was just like, "No." Yeah, super cute.
That's so cute.
Alex, you were saying that Heather didn't used to play video games, right? Because when I first knew Heather years ago, before you did, she introduced me to this game on the computer. I think it was called Snood at the time. A lot like one of those Candy Crush games. So she loves those kind of like quick games. Yeah,
she does.
She was Heather. We were working together. She was playing it.
She likes that kind of stuff because she loved, like, when she was growing up, she loved like Centipede and Miss Pac-Man and like all that stuff. I mean, we have a Mandalorian pinball machine now, and we play it all the time. Like, she'll be like, "Let's just play some Mandalorian." I was like, "Okay, cool." So she likes gaming and loves board games, although she's very competitive. So it's
I'll cheers to that.
Yeah, we can only play on the same team. Let's just put it that way. It's how we've been able to stay together for almost 20 years. But that was not surprising because she also, like, do you remember Peggle?
Peggle. Yes.
Peggle?
Yeah. Fucking loved Peggle.
I think she was really into Peggle on the phone back in the day. Yeah. Fucking Peggle. Fucking Peggle.
Peggle.
Yeah. One of my like fake email addresses involves the word Peggle.
That's amazing.
Hey, Maude, take me off for like 2 seconds. I'll BRB.
Someone's got to go.
If she's excused herself to cry, I will be fine.
She comes back with just like super red eyes, and she's like,
"Thanks."
Anyway,
oh good, I'm back.
It is not a Drunksmas if she doesn't cry. So we need to, as a team and as a chat, we need to think of what it is going to be. That's going to break her.
Yeah, that's the Drunksmas money shot. Is Allison
the nostalgia just being like, "Wow, we've been doing this so long." It's
I like that.
We all yeah.
What else we got? We tried the nephew, and it nearly worked. We were like,
she was there. I even laid on my nephew to see if it would push her over the edge.
It got like, it went a little bit. I saw the. Okay, so that's a good play. What happened? What were the previous times that Allison broke? It was a feel good cry. It's never a sad cry. It's a feel good cry.
Yeah, right. Oh, man, what were those?
You know what? We'll get her to do like the final thoughts and to like talk about all the other iterations.
Yep. Okay? That's the move. That's
what
the move.
Each of us means to her.
Yes.
In terms of this collective experience.
Yeah. Can you just sum up the half-hour happy hour in your mind?
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, okay.
Whose dog just growled? Podcat, was that your dog?
Yeah, whose dog growled?
Is that your tummy?
She growls at like every little noise from outside.
I'll take her.
Not like barks, but she'll just kind of like watch, like.
Dougie, this is the sweetest message. Allison, you want to read it?
Allison is the connection throughout all the HHHHFs. All of the donations are because of her work.
It's true, Allison.
That's
it's
really
true.
That's true.
sweet.
Yeah.
Is that the thing that makes me cry? Oh no!
Oh, Dougie.
I mean, it is
You're
true.
magnificent.
Dougie, you got me right in the feel. Wait, what did Michelle say? Like, you hit my.
Oh yeah, you hit me right in the demographic. He hit you right in the demographic, Allison.
Because of her work.
Actually, Allison, because I'm going to speak on behalf of everyone in this chat and say that is 100% true. You are absolutely the connective tissue of this show. You have been here throughout all the episodes. You are the reason why I became a part of the show. Oh, I'm even breaking up here. Oh, that got me a little bit. These donations are because of all of your hard work. It would be absolutely wonderful just to kind of pass the mic over to you. I'd love to hear from you what half-hour happy hour means to you.
Oh.
And like to shine a little bit of light on the team as well, because it's like you are the glue of all of this.
I mean, like well, we've told this story so many times, but it truly just started with Alex and I being like, we always want to work together forever and ever and ever. What can we do that we can control? And we came up with this idea, which, like, who knew that me and Alex just having a joy for drinking and talking could turn into something like this? And then Alex brought on Tom, and Tom was just like the most perfect foil to the two of us.
That was a foil, yes. Very true.
Like a good Nissan 300ZX, everyone needs a foil.
Everyone needed the Robin to their Howard Stern, and like Tom could not have been more perfect. And then, just meeting in Alex's garage every day.
God.
Yeah.
Not every day, every week.
Every Saturday.
Like, literally, we'd meet at like what time did we used to do it?
Like 11 a.m.
11 a.m. and we would have a fucking drink at 11 a.m.
I'd have a bottle of wine, I think, more than a drink. I drank a lot.
Yeah. And then there were times when Tom would just like, I'm just gonna go run over to the snake pit, and before I go home, just hang out over there. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Alex decided to be a real human being, and we were like, do we continue this podcast? And I was like, literally the only person I could see continuing this podcast with would be Maude. And I remember taking Maude on a hike. I met Maude for a hike. It's not like taking her on a date, but I met Maude for a hike.
You were
so nervous and being like, hey, I have this idea, and like maybe you want to do this, but it's like totally cool if you don't, like no pressure. And Maude was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm in. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And Maude took over, and right before that.
No,
that's the part. Her heart exploded the Wi-Fi.
To be continued in next year's.
You froze.
Oh, she's back.
I froze. I'm back.
What?
Wait. And right then was like when Nerdist ended the podcast network. So we were also like, where would it live?
Yeah.
And we got, God bless Brian Baldinger over at Starburns, but he and we didn't technically go to college together, but we both went to Boston College. And so we had been connected through that. And, and I knew he was at Starburns. So he got us a meeting, and like, we literally walked in and Aristotle was in the lobby, like interviewing for a job there. And we loved him from Nerdist. And we were like, wait, you're coming. Well, then we want to come here too. And it just like really all worked out. And also, I just got to say, this night wasn't even like on our radar 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Pizza Hut, and we were like, what can we do before the end of the year? And I was like, you know what? Let's see if we always like to do charity streams. Let's see if we can make this happen. And we pulled this together in 0 time. Like literally all the guests that we had on tonight, we didn't ask any of them more than 3 or 4 days ago.
Like Wednesday was when it was solidifying. Yeah.
I think it was mainly Allison, you and Maude that pulled this together.
Oh yeah. No, Tom and I did nothing.
Didn't do shit.
That is true.
So thank you, ladies, for doing this.
Thank you.
Would not exist without you two pulling this together. So thank you.
But the fact that we actually hit our goals with both charities makes me so thrilled, because I was like, I don't know, because because I brought up both and I was like, I love both these charities. And Pizza Hut was the one that was like, then let's do both. And I was like, oh, okay, if we're willing to do both, we'll put in the work to do both. And I'm so happy we did because I think they're both awesome, amazing causes to donate to. And we did it.
Yeah. So I'll be incredibly transparent. I was trying to make you cry, Allison, and it worked.
Yes.
Manipulative bitch.
Dougie's got that. Is Dougie's comment, and I just kind of nurtured it. But what ended up happening while you were talking and while you were having the best moment ever that made my night, and I'm so glad we got there because it's a tradition. While you were talking, people kept donating.
Really?
And
oh my God.
We have now hit.
Where are we at?
Where are we?
I'm like, what am I looking at? I'm very
drunk.
Big number.
Oh
my gosh.
And Alex Biles says $45.45 donation. Whoever said Allison isn't perfect for TV should burn in hell. You were my crush for my teenage years. You were always the funniest host. You were the best host, and that's why I still follow your career.
Thank you, Alex.
Anonymous. This is when I cried. This is what got me. Anonymous donated $151.51.
Yes.
To push us over the limit for that one.
That's great.
And then I have to hold on. I've got to do a little finagling and blah, blah, blah. And bear with me for just 1 second, please. But, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. $1,152.
Yes.
That's awesome,
Louis
guys.
Medina. Louis Medina and I met back in 2014. When he was I think it was, what was one of the big YouTube channel, multi-channel networks, blah, 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 was trying to audition 2 hosts for a show and sent both Michelle Morrow and I to PAX South to battle it out.
Amazing.
That was back in 2014. Louis Medina and I have continued to follow each other. He's a massive D&D nerd. He's doing amazing things. I still believe over at Rooster Teeth now. Donated $151.51 here. So that makes me wonder if it's the same amount as Extra Life, $151.51. Anonymous, $151.51 here.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Now we found out who Anonymous really is.
So we've got a mystery on our hands.
A mystery. Ooh.
But Seb said it perfectly. Sorry to completely put it over Tom's face, but $2,461 in donations. Add
That's
another
amazing.
$2,000 on top of that.
That's amazing, guys.
That's fantastic.
We really
so happy.
That's really cool.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
It really does.
Awesome. Way to go. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody, for donating. That's
really wonderful.
Well, that was super fun and profitable for the charities.
And our calorie intake.
Profitable for our calorie holders.
I feel like that's actually what messed me up the most was like, I'm going to have the beer before the pizza. I'm going to wait for the pizza on the stream. And then I got 2 beers. Like, I still haven't had any pizza. And now
It's hard to
it's
eat
hitting me
on the
hitting
stream.
harder.
That's why when literally right before we went live, I scarfed like 4 pieces of pizza. Just disgustingly. Because I was like, I'm going to nibble when people are on. I was like,
All right. Well,
cool.
I'm going to sit here for, I don't think it'll take me too much longer, but for the next, hour, I'm going to deal with getting all the codes out. If for some reason in the morning you did not get a code, re-email the Half Hour Happy Hour account. Be kind with me. I've had many white claws, but I'm working on it. I think I'll do it.
Is this?
Oh, is that Darren?
Is that the real Darren?
Darren?
And he's going to be receiving a signed copy of Primer in the mail?
Oh, signed copy.
Oh my gosh,
First
amazing.
edition, too, by the way. We're on
Spotify.
50.
I have to finish this glass. Spotify.
Do it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so if you're owed a code and I didn't get it to you by tomorrow morning, email again and I will get it to you then, but I'm going to do the rest of them right now while I'm thinking about it. Thank you to everyone who donated. You all, yes, the real Darren.
Oh, real Darren.
No offense to the other Darren, we love you just as much.
Also great.
But this is
Thank
the
you so much
real
for $150
Darren.
donation. We really appreciate that. You're amazing.
Yeah.
We've had $250 donations, $60, $130 from Seb. We've potentially had $151.51 from Luis Medina. If
Maybe
not
twice?
twice, don't know. If you did do twice, you are the creme de la creme. You have completely taken out the crown of the highest donations. Thank you so much. And if you did donate, technically 150, 300 and whatever, I can't.
300 plus.
$3.11 or whatever it is. Pizza Hut's doubled it. So
Yeah.
Way to go. Thanks Pizza Hut too, by the way. Wow.
Also, I believe
Wait.
Wait.
That's
not
She
true.
cried.
I totally cried.
She cried.
She cried.
Heavy on. And they were the real tears.
Yeah.
They weren't like
And
the
she almost
trained
got
actress tears.
Maude trying to get Allison almost got herself. She pulled the bow back and the string sort of went and hit her as she was shooting the bow.
We did it.
We did it.
I also believe Maude will get the audio to good old Podcat who's here with us, and this will get posted as an audio. It'll actually go to
As
the good old
an
happy
audio.
hour.
Yeah, Aristotle, you got to work. We invite you here to still work.
Yes.
This is not just for fun.
Oh, truly, just always happy to be here. So lucky to be. Also, shout out to the Geek Bomb community and the happy hour community that continues to live on, because this is a very rare and special thing. This does not happen often. Well, this happens every year, but I mean, like being able to have a donation amount and hit it every time.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I'm 8 out of 10.
Magnifique.
You are 8 out of 10. You change your name, you son bitch. You are 8 out of 10.
This is just me. This is just this is just how I am.
I will say, I mean, let's be honest. Half Hour Happy Hour was a wonderfully branded podcast. Like Alex, we could not have done a better job branding a podcast for the two of us. But coming up with the concept of Drunksmas is truly like the thing that will live on. Yes, chef's kiss of HHHH.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was yeah.
All right, we did it.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Final words. Whoever's on the screen has to say the final words of the podcast for the year. Round it out. Final words.
Like just me, or are we going to everyone?
We're going to everyone, but you're up first.
Oh, I mean, just truly thank you to everyone who donated. I wasn't sure. We made our goals, and I was like, I really, really hope we can hit this. So the fact that we've gone over, it just means more to me than words can describe. And I love that I drank so many White Claws and ate so many slices of pizza while we did it. And we had great guests on, and I love all the people on the screen with me right now. And happy holidays to everyone. Sweet. What's my shirt say? Sloppy Christmas.
It was a sloppy Christmas. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I will say, so I had the show that still lives on to this day, that I am only a fan of now, the Dungeon Run on Twitch. Follow it if you like D&D. But at the end of every episode, Jeff always says the same thing, and he came up with, I think, like week 4, which I love, and I think it's a very good note to end the year on, which is humankind be both.
I like it.
I like that. Actually, there is one from Morphinius who said, I've got to confess. I didn't know all of these fine folks. I added fine folks before watching you. But you're all really pleasant people, and there's a great vibe here with a lot of heart. So thank you for that. I'll choose to
do my little dance for that.
Yeah.
I'll choose to that. Podcat.
I know this is hard. I'm bad at this because every time. But just thank you to everyone that donated. Thank you all for inviting me and letting me continue to be part of this incredible show. And love and take care of everyone you know. Reach out to the people you love and tell them you love them.
That's good stuff.
Tell them you love it.
And take care of the dogs.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All dogs.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Good. Oh, no, you're good. This is good.
Oh, geez. All right.
Brad said that where was it? Brad said I had to go to a 9 out of 10, which I did.
Yeah, I'm just glad to be here. Thanks, guys, for having me. And I just don't know if anybody knows this, but Allison and I have secretly been dating for 2 years now.
Tom, we already made Allison cry.
What?
You already made me cry, John. Yeah. Literally, I was like, what have we been doing? Oh.
No, thank you. I love all of you guys. Thanks for having me. This is always great. So I'm a happy man, and that's all I can ask for. So
Hold on to that. Don't do that. Don't you do that yet. You pause on that one. Thank you. Hey, sup, it's Maude here. I have reapplied my lipstick about 9 times during this stream. And it's gotten real.
Very stealthy. What? I've been watching the entire time. I did not notice.
Yeah. It's called Drunksmas for a reason. That is because as an Australian, I like to get shit-faced. But as a podcast, we really want to end the year with not only indulging, having a good run, being vulnerable, really expressing ourselves, bringing the community in to make this the best thing ever, but truly letting our guard down and being real with all of you. And I think that Drunksmas mixed with charity is one of the most fulfilling things that I think that we can do. And I thought I was a little bit, there was trepidation with trying to raise $2,000 over the course of 3 hours, especially over 2 different charities. The fact that we raised almost half of that within the first half an hour reminded me that this community stands by us no matter what. And when I say no matter what, I mean the fact that we did a co-host change years in, and I was accepted through that as well. And we were able to last at least another year, that you have allowed us the grace to do it intermittently, which is every now and then. And I love that it's like, it's not but you said, and we want, and da-da-da. It's like, there's a graciousness that will take what we can get. And so that makes it easier to give. But the fact that this particular Drunksmas, we were able to give back as well. And I love that we were able to not only give something back to you as you gave to the charities. I think that Pizza Hut, like fucking what a stand-up thing to have happened, that we were able to give you something for giving. But we were able to walk away with $1,100 raised for Black Girl Code and over $1,200 raised for Extra Life. And having that doubled automatically is just, that's what the holiday season means to me, I think, more than anything. And we couldn't have done this without the team. Allison, you are just so outstanding as a person, but also like, I love being able to sort of like pass the reins on or relinquish, and you just have it sorted. Like that trust that we all have together is so amazing. Tom standing up and being like, this is a charity thing, but I will donate my time and energy and something that I have to be able to give back to the people that gave the most as well. Fantastic. Alex, smile more.
You're a lot prettier to smile, Alex. Yeah.
If you could just calm down. That would be great.
So emotional. Yeah.
I've learned to be very calm.
And Podcat, like everyone needs a Podcat in their life. And I think that when you came on and there was just a wave of support as well, just shows that you are so much more than a producer or someone that would kind of like chime in from time to time when we forced you. So yeah, with that, we have crushed another fucking Drunksmas.
Woo!
Who knows how or when this will happen again, but on behalf of every single person watching, goddamn fortify, motherfuckers.
Yeah, bitches.
Podcat had to do another drink to fortify.
Bang, bang.
I was going to save it, but I was like, nope, I've got to open it for this one.
I'm opening another White Claw just to get through all the other emails.
Thank you to the chat. You're always astounding. Really appreciate you. If you do want to continue to donate, we ain't stopping you. The codes and the links will be in the chat. We're all fucking drunk, and this is a Drunksmas. Until next time, thank you so much. See you for St. Drunksmas Day.
See you for St.
St.
Drunksmas
Day. By the way, all the Ricks are drunk as fuck on St.
They always
Day.
Wait, what if we do a St. Drunksmas, but but every one of our guests is someone named Rick.
I don't hate it.
Also, how have we not talked about a half hour Hanukkah?
You are not a 7 out of 10 podcast. You are not a 7 out of 10. Try again.
Half hour Hanukkah happy hour, and
How
we
many
can do it for
Hanukkah?
several days.
How much longer of Hanukkah do we have?
8 nights, right?
No, Hanukkah ended
Crazy
earlier
night.
this week.
Oh,
You did?
This will be a 2022 decision.
St. Drunk Rick's
Drunk
Day.
Rick's. St.
So
Drunksmas
great.
Day.
we will be taking all suggestions. Thank you so
For
much.
holiday
Allison, good luck.
shenanigans.
Because you've got about
Thank you.
50 plus emails to write out.
I know, I'm on it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Love you.
Dougie,
All right, I love all your
Dougie,
faces.
you need a shush now. You need a
Love
shush.
your faces.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye,
you again.
guys.
We'll see you next year. Bye.
Bye.